Impact, as Jen Crawford reports.
This is a case that while I think it is going to be a victory for Trump, it's important to remember that it's going to apply to all presidents, that Democratic presidents will also have this same authority. When they come into office, they can remove these members of these independent federal agencies if the court rules, as it did suggest that it would be today in the FTC case.
Former FBI agents have filed suit seeking their jobs back. They kneeled during a racial justice protest in Washington back in 2020. Scott McFarland reports they believe that was misinterpreted by the higher-ups and insist it was not politically motivated.
A dozen former FBI agents have filed this suit saying they were the victims of unlawful retaliation, fired because of what they did 5 years ago when they kneeled as a de-escalation tool, they say, during unrest in Washington, D.C. after the murder of George Floyd. They say this is a political retribution by the FBI Director Kash Patel, and they want their jobs back.
Stacey Lynn reports the president's giving farmers $12 billion in aid. They've been hard hit by his trade war with China.
The Trump administration is using tariff revenue to help farmers across the country.
We're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers in economic assistance. And we love our farmers, and as you know, the farmers like me.
He called farmers the backbone of America.
Farmers are an indispensable national asset.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
A powerful earthquake struck northern Japan today, triggering a tsunami. Nuclear power plants were conducting safety checks and some train services were suspended. The quake had a magnitude of 7.5. Paramount has made a bid to take over all of Warner Brothers Discovery. That's just 3 days after Netflix agreed to buy part of the company in a deal worth billions of dollars. CBS's Kelly O'Grady breaks it all down.
What Paramount is doing is they were a part of the bidding process that had Netflix as well as a couple of other companies. And they're saying, hey, you know what? We think our $30 per share, all cash offer, by the way, which is different than the Netflix bid, they think it's better. And so they want to take it directly to the shareholders for them to decide. And so a tender offer essentially lets the acquirer go around the board. They do not need to get approval, and they're going to let the shareholders decide.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished lower. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now, some of the heaviest rainfall in years is on the way. That's after Ted Biener at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. More cars are hitting on the road on this soggy Monday afternoon. We got growing drive times, but fortunately, no reported crashes or stalls. Let's keep it that way. Heading south, southbound I-5 stacks up from the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90, again from the Duwamish Curve to Midway, and from State Route 18 to the Puyallup River. Southbound 405 is sluggish from before I-90 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167 has brake lights from 405 to near 212th, from Willis to past 15th Northwest, and State Route 18 to near Sumner. Heading north, northbound I-5 bogs down from near the West Seattle Bridge to the U District, and again from the Boeing Freeway to Marine View Drive. Northbound 405 is getting busy from 520 to Beardsley. The long-term crash in Whatcom County near Slater Road, some good news there, is finally cleared and all lanes are back open. Drive time, Seattle, Bellevue to Everett are now both near 40 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton is 27 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, that has climbed to an hour. Seattle to Tacoma, that is now an hour and 10 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that is 45 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. A storm that nearly spans the entire Pacific is streaming into the Northwest right now. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with more on a major atmospheric river.
Heavy rain Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6 inches around Seattle and up north, 10 to 15 inches in the South Cascades. Meteorologist Scott Sistek says there could also be strong strong winds Monday.
So we're looking at picking up some gusty winds of about 40 to 45 miles an hour, maybe some gusts to 50 miles an hour here and there.
Puget Sound Energy expects power outages. The worst hit areas between Portland and Chehalis, the Snoqualmie River, could also see extreme flooding. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
And emergency managers want you to get ready now for all that potential flooding, especially if you live near rivers or creeks. Sherry Badger with King County Emergency Management says they're also concerned about mudslides.
Biggest areas that we are concerned about are the burn scars. So the burn scars, particularly up at the Bolt Creek area, those are more prone to debris flows and mudslides.
If you are in a flood-prone area, the county is providing sandbags at more than a dozen locations. A 75-year-old woman is recovering today after she was viciously attacked on the streets of downtown Seattle. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
The attack happened just before noon Friday near 3rd Avenue and James Street. Police say the woman was waiting for the crosswalk when the man approached from behind. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says he was carrying a long stick with a metal screw in the end.
He swung the stick like a baseball bat, intentionally striking her in the face, causing serious facial injuries.
The woman had to have emergency facial surgery. The 42-year-old suspect is a convicted felon with a violent criminal past. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
They've been a source of controversy among privacy advocates, but can police say flock safety cameras helped officers nab a suspect in a stolen car just last week?
An officer got an alert about the stolen gray Lexus and found it behind a business along 72nd Avenue South. The 42-year-old Nevada man behind the wheel was arrested with stolen credit cards, and police say he also had fentanyl on him. Police say he knew the person he'd stolen the car and credit cards from. Well, he was taken to jail, and the car and cards were taken back to their owner. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We will see heavy rain at times today. Tomorrow, actually some periods of dry weather, but heavy rain expected by tomorrow night. Wednesday looks to be the heaviest afternoon for rainfall. Right now, 59 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination.
Oh, good.
Beyond it is another dimension.
Who's got the key?
A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight.
Ding.
A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and
apple,
of things and
umami.
You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Wow, Andrew, look at you, huh? Aaron made a brief appearance on there, too.
Nice.
Good, all right, here we go on a Monday, everybody. Enjoying your atmospheric river.
Cliff Mass called it a atmospheric Godzilla, I think.
He's not taking credit for that anymore, I think.
We had him on Friday, and I said somebody else stole that from
Let Ted.
Oh.
Ted,
Yeah.
what is it, an atmospheric river or is it an atmospheric tsunami? Godzilla.
It's an atmospheric river.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you some real Godzilla ones back. Remember December 07 when I-5 went underwater?
Here we go.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay, wow. All right.
Like a flood, in comes Ted Beat.
Ted. Get Ted talking about the weather.
Yeah.
Can we tap your brilliance a little later on?
You can. Yep.
We shall. All right, here we go. Diving into what's atmospheric river water. Diving in. There we go. Yes. Ooh, don't play that. I almost hit the Hey Yes song from Thursday.
Oh, my.
Sorry I missed Friday, everybody. Don't look at me like that, Joe.
What were you doing?
Working. Raising money for CASA.
Ooh, court-appointed special advocates.
There you go. Great. It was a
fantastic organization.
Amazing evening. All right. I'm going to tell you the story about Joey Coyle, a guy from Philadelphia who pleaded temporary insanity. And jury said, yeah, you know what? If that happened to me, I would have gone insane too. And that only explains what's happening in Minnesota, and then Indiana, Massachusetts, a whole bunch of other places as well, because everybody there must be insane. And then this day in history, although it was yesterday, December 7th. Is today the 7th?
Today's the 8th.
8th, thank you. Yeah. The Pearl Harbor attack. And the guy that everybody blamed because he didn't notice the radar, but they didn't want to wake up a superior officer at 1 a.m. to tell him, hey, something sort of suspicious out here. Or 2 a.m. Plus, Holiday Magic is back. There's all sorts of great auction items up for bid. Seahawks tickets as well. I'm going to be bidding on that. We'll get to that. Plus, I hope everybody in the audience, I know there's some younger people. Not your fault. Parents got started late. I'm such a huge fan of the Johnny Carson Show, which, by the way, you can tell how old people are when they refer to it as the Johnny Carson Show. I'm going to watch the Johnny Carson Show. Put the in front of it. It's just Johnny Carson.
It wasn't the Tonight Show?
The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Yes.
Is Doc here? Is Doc not here? The lovable Johnny Carson, setting the record straight on all the Carson rumors. This guy's done tons of research, and the book is out. Did you know that Johnny Carson faked hepatitis in the hospital while getting cosmetic eye surgery?
How do you do that?
I don't know, he just faked it. I guess he said he had it or something. Then every famous guest that had to come on had to get a painful hepatitis shot before going on the show. Wait, he didn't want to admit to having plastic surgery?
Come on.
Johnny. Is Doc here? Doc is not here. By the way, I'm going to hold my Johnny Carson invitations down to 3 times when we get a chance to talk to the author of the book. Super Johnny Carson.
I'll keep track.
Okay. The first 2 don't count that I just did. Okay. Plus, Rye Roller's going to come by, talk about the Seahawks' big win. He has a couple of slightly outside the norm reactions to it, so we'll find out about that. And Zach Brown Band. I'm going there on the 13th to see Zach Brown at the Sphere. And what have you heard about the show?
First of all, it's just Sphere, not the Sphere. That's true. I swear to God, that's true.
Okay, all right.
They get mad if you do call it the Sphere.
Okay.
I've heard that it's a little dark in the imagery.
People are saying it's satanic in nature, right? And it's, look out if you go there. It's a way of trying to get you to believe in the devil or something. So I talked to Zach Brown's assistant or manager, and I said, is there anything you can send us to that we can read to find out what it's really all about? And she's like, who's saying that? I was like, okay, a lot of people saying it's satanic.
Some guy on Instagram.
That's all you need. One guy with a camera and a cell phone, and off you go. Plus, Ted's going to come by, talk about how much more rain, and then we are now the 5th worst drivers in the United States. North Dakota holds number 1, but I don't hold them accountable for that because I did a little bit of research, and Joe kept saying, read other things. Stop digging into all this stupid Washington drivers ranking worst.
No, it was the North Dakota drivers that you were.
I figured I got those guys off. It's not their fault. I don't know why I have like a deep, abiding love for the drivers of North Dakota.
You're not having it.
No, but then I kept putting in there Washington drivers. I put into chat what's causing the accidents, and they won't tell you. And then I wanted to know, is it one group or another group that causes more accidents? I wanted to kind of break it all down. And chat was like, I don't know why you're asking that. That's not fair to ask. I don't like chat. It's bias. And a bunch of other stories we'll get to in a little bit. But first, hold on, Andrew. Hang on. I'm trying to get my papers.
Where's your notes?
I was thinking, it was February 26, 1981. Joey Coyle and 2 friends were driving in a car when they were cutting through a bunch of back roads in Philadelphia, South Philadelphia, and they stumbled upon a big yellow wheelbarrow that's off to the side of the road there next to the sidewalk. And when they got out of the car to inspect, they found 2 large sacks of money. $1.2 million was there. The 2 guys were like, we're not touching this. This belongs to somebody else. We'll get in trouble if we do this. And Joey Coyle said, finders, keepers, losers, weepers. It's not against the law to find money. So Joey took the money. He then decided, well, why am I going to do this $1.2 million? I better try to, launder the money. So he took it to the mob. Believe this or not, there's a mafia in Philadelphia. Pow! So he takes it there, and they're like, yeah, well, sure, we can do something for you. And Joey gives them $800,000, and they said, okay, we're going to take 25%, come back in 2 days, and we'll launder the money for you. So there goes $800,000 of the $1.2 million. And then with that, Joey and a couple of friends drive to a place called Dick Lee Nightclub there in Jersey. They go in there, and Joey has a gun with him, and he's got his 2 friends as bodyguards. And then he proceeds to go around the bar and buy everybody drinks and give $100 tips to everybody and tell everybody that he found the money. So he's not really smart. By the way, he is he was an active meth user at the time. He then is so drunk, he's going to drive over to his friend's house to spend the night, but he goes to the wrong home. Knocks at the door at like 1 o'clock in the morning. These scared people that opened the door were so upset by it that Joey tries to calm them down by offering them free Quaaludes and gives them a $100 tip. They take the money, but they don't take the Quaaludes. He then goes to his friend's house and he stashes $230K, and he sticks that in the house. So we got Joey has given $800,000 to the mob. $230K goes to the stash at a place. He and his friend then conspire that Joey needs to get out of the country as quickly as possible. And his friend says, listen, I can't put you on a ship, even though he worked at this terminal. But what I can suggest you do is you buy a ticket to fly to Mexico, because you don't need a passport at that time to fly out of the country. So Joey gets a ticket to go to JFK, and he and his friend start driving there. They get lost. They can't find the exit. And they pull over into a hotel, and they stash about $100,000 there at the hotel. They then go out and buy a bunch of prostitutes, get super duper drunk, so drunk when they get back in the car at 4 o'clock in the morning, they can't remember what hotel they had checked into. So the money is not there either. But he sobers up just in time to be able to go to JFK. As he goes to get on the plane, the FBI stops him. He's got about $100,000 stuffed in his socks and his T-shirt, and off he goes. And then on March 2nd, 1982, before a jury, after Joey Coyle says not guilty by reason of temporary insanity, the jury finds him not guilty by reason of temporary insanity because he had simply found the money when completely out of his mind and not guilty. Joey then goes home to live in his parents' house, his mom's house anyway, continues to do a whole bunch of meth. When you find money, it can cause some temporary insanity. Like in 1941, when they passed the GI Bill and they decided they were going to give money to colleges for the returning vets, and they said, well, listen, we're not going to get involved. The federal government's not getting involved with type of college and college money. What we'll do is we'll just directly give the money to the colleges and then let the states determine what type of colleges. Well, that is, for-profit colleges went from 1,800 to 5,700 in less than about 4 months. So GI signed up for a whole bunch of colleges, like TV repair classes, where they would be given a free TV if they showed up for the first day, and then they never had to go back again. There were correspondence courses as well that the GI Bill allowed to be paid for, like, get this, dance classes. Correspondence dance classes, and then a correspondence class for auctioneering, as well as personal development. So the money was wasted, just blown through, because the government gave the money and said, we don't want to have to any sort of determination of what the class is. We don't want to get involved in education at all. We'll just directly give it to the schools. Well, after about 4 years of this, finally, all the stories came to a head, and they decided that they would stop funding this type of nonsense. But still, millions and millions and millions of dollars were wasted. Same sort of thing happened in Minnesota, Indiana, and Massachusetts. This is just a couple of months ago, because the federal government decided through Medicaid that they were going to finance and give support to anybody that's autistic, especially kids. So the number of kids that were autistic suddenly increased by 700% in Minneapolis. There was a school that was set up called Parent Smart or School Smart or something like that. And when the parents would turn their kids over to the school, the parents would receive $1,500 a month from the school in order to, well, just thank them very much for signing their kids up. Every single kid that saw the specialist was diagnosed as autistic, and the money kept going. Millions and millions. Now, this wasn't just in Minneapolis. It was also happening, well, in Indiana had it as well. In fact, $28,000 was billed to Medicaid for one particular kid. And one kid in Massachusetts apparently got 24 hours of care. The total bill for that was, again, close to $32,000 for one kid. For some reason, it's temporary insanity whenever the Brinks federal truck drives down any neighborhood and simply has money flying out the back. Cato did a survey of 2,000 Americans, both Republicans, Democrats, and independents, and 76% said, yes, the government wastes money. 9 out of 10 say that there should be an audit for these, and they believe that 56 cents of every dollar that the federal government collects, according to the survey from the Cato Institute, this is back in April of this year, surveyors said that the people that were responding, again, Democrat, Republican, independents, they said about 56 cents of every dollar is wasted and they need to do something about it. So this type of waste, fraud, and abuse continues. And it'll keep going. As long as the federal government continues to drive trucks down all sorts of streets across all sorts of cities and states that simply has a faulty back door lock. And just like Joey Coyle, and the Joey Coyles of the world can continue to steal money and simply say, well, they were just temporarily insane.
Socialism failing to work as it always does.
It's not socialism. It's not my money. What do I care? So the fact with Obamacare, the GAO just did a study. They found out that about 1 million people have signed up, not even real people, just money being transferred from the government over to these different insurance companies that are just getting the money, not even having anybody use the services, and about $10,000 a month is being given to fake individuals that don't even have Social Security cards. By the way, how did Joey Coyle end up?
That was my next question.
He went back home, and a movie producer came and said, hey, we want to produce a movie. Would you help us? We'll give you $150,000, and we'll give you a percentage of the sales of the movie. If we can, talk to you, you can be our consultant. And he said, yeah, sure. And then about a couple weeks later, he hung himself at his mom's house. In the will, he left the money, the $150K, to his attorney and a friend. And that's the story of Joey Coyle.
Wow.
Sorry. You're going to ask me, bring everything down with that.
More money, more problems. Did you know Joey?
No, I didn't know Joey Coyle, but I do remember the story when I was living there in Philly, or hearing the story later on. Yeah. The money falls out of the back of the truck. But you see that same thing happens in an ATM machine starts spitting money out, and people are like, well, it's free money or it's an act of God.
You remember the Chase ATM hack everybody was doing for a while there?
Yeah, how did that one work?
You would just go in and deposit a check, or you go deposit a check that had no money behind it, and then you go right out to the ATM and withdraw several $1,000s.
Yeah, because it's not their money. Yep. The same sort of waste that goes on all the time. That goes back to that old thing I always ask, what percentage of people cheat the system? Well, apparently, according to the Cato Institute, they believe 76% of stuff is wasted, or 56 cents of every dollar is wasted.
Yeah, but not 76% of people, John.
What do you mean not 76%?
I still think your percentage is off.
What? Of people that cheat the system?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's much higher than that. No, what do you think it is?
I mean, legitimately cheat. I don't mean.
I mean everything. You could cheat any system you want.
Yeah, but I don't think you can count parking. Somewhere.
Why not?
Because that's just...
You can't just start to draw the line. Well, parking is not the same. It is. Park. It's you're $10 to park or $20 to park.
Okay, so if you go right on red,
Netflix, person's got 10 passwords.
But by that metric, if you're sharing your Netflix password when you're
that's
not
cheating.
Then we're at 99.
Thank you. Ted Beamer taking a look at traffic for us. Ted.
All right, it's wet out there. Take it easy on the roads and maintain enough room behind that car in front of you. Heading northbound I-5 slows from the Michigan curve to 520. Bogs down from the West Seattle Bridge to the U District. And again, from the Boeing Freeway to the Marine View Drive and through Marysville at times. Everett to Arlington is now 22 minutes. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from 520 to Canyon Park. Heading southbound I-5 stacks up from the U District to I-90, again from 599 to Midway, and from State Route 18 to the Puyallup River. Southbound 405 is sluggish from Southeast 8th To the Renton curves, southbound 167 has got brake lights from just after leaving a slow northbound 405 approach to near 212th, and from Central to past Northwest 15th, and again from State Route 18 to near Sumner. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton is now 28 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on 167, that has risen to now an hour and 5 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is 45 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia is also 45 minutes. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those have risen to near 45 minutes. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
All right, here's a situation I hope you don't have to face. So let's say, here we are. It's near the end of December. Temperatures outside definitely freezing out. You wake up in the morning and it's cold, really cold. You realize in the middle of the night while you were sleeping under those covers, your heating system broke down. Let's say it's 12 years or older, pretty good chance that thing's going to kick the bucket soon. So that is why you need to make sure that you've got Home Comfort Alliance standing by, getting ready, because they will take care of whatever the problem is. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, especially as we head into the colder months. That's when all the problems start to arise, right? So it's a good idea to place Home Comfort Alliance on your smartphone or write it down on a piece of paper, do old-fashioned thing, and put a magnet and a piece of paper up on the refrigerator, have Home Comfort Alliance right there for you. Because I can tell you from personal experience, their customer service is outstanding. The work that's done, the great people that come and solve whatever the problem is, when it does come to heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs, the first call needs to be Home Comfort Alliance. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio's Ursula Roy-Team.
I remember when Holiday Magic started 37 years ago. It was actually my first year here at KIRO News Radio. The impact that this program has had on so many people's lives has truly been inspiring, and I am proud to be a part of it. Join us on Wednesday, December 10th, all day long on KIRO News Radio for the 37th annual Holiday Magic Benefiting Treehouse. You can donate right now. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
A special message from Hartley and Wilcox Family Farms.
This time of year, as we enjoy family, I think about how life on the farm must have been over 100 years ago. One thing that remains constant is our love of family, the animals, and the land. So as your family gathers, we hope you feel good about cooking and baking with fresh, local Wilcox eggs, just like we've done for the past 100 years. From our family to yours, happy holidays. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
Retirement used to feel like something way off in the distance, and suddenly it's not. And like so many of you, I want to make sure the money I've spent a lifetime saving will actually last. That's why I work with Trajan Wealth. Ursula Roytine here. My husband and I recently sat down with Marty, and she took the time to understand our goals, our financial situation, and what we want the next chapter to look like. And because Trajan Wealth Advisors are fiduciaries, they're required to put your interests first. The plan she came up with isn't shaped by commissions or products. It's shaped around our lives. Trajan is veteran-owned, and they specialize in helping people with $500,000 or more in savings build a smart, long-term strategy. So if you're starting to think seriously about your retirement, start with a team I trust. Call Trajan Wealth at 206-656-3300 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Clock is ticking to sign up for health coverage. You've got through Monday to enroll through Washington's Health Plan Finder for insurance starting January 1st. Ingrid Ulrey is CEO of the Health Benefit Exchange. She says rising premiums are keeping a lot of people away.
We're seeing fewer new customers this year because of what's going on. So far, 10,000 new customers have signed up, which is good, but that's 18% lower than last year.
U.S. Senate does vote on Thursday on extending Affordable Care Act tax credits. Democrats are calling for a 3-year extension. Republicans want changes tied to those subsidies. Human rights and healthcare advocates are pressing ICE over conditions inside the Northwest ICE Processing Center in Tacoma. This after they claim a 4-time criminal suffered in their care. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with more.
Advocates claim detainees like 37-year-old Greggy Sorio, a green card holder who was nearly deported back to the Philippines this week, have limited access to basics like soap and face long delays for medical treatment. The Seattle Times reports it wasn't until Sorio was anemic and vomiting blood ICE took him to the hospital. A 4-time convicted criminal, an immigration judge ordered Sorio's deportation in October. His request for a stay was recently denied. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A massive atmospheric river stretching some 7,000 miles from the Philippines is about to hammer Washington.
It is serious.
UW meteorologist Cliff Mass tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM he expects to see 8 or 9 inches of rain in some places, in others, more than a foot.
That's heavy stuff.
The Snoqualmie and Cowlitz rivers will likely hit flood stage. In fact, 10 rivers are now projected to reach major flood levels.
In some places, they may even hit all-time record flood levels.
On top of that, wind gusts could reach 40 miles an hour. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
And windy weather today leading to power outages. At last check, nearly 7,500 customers lost electricity, including about 3,000 in King County. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:32. Here's Ted Wiener.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Now, if you're driving right now through the rain, hats off to you for avoiding crashes. However, on southbound I-5, just south of James Street, we got a disabled vehicle that's blocking the center lane. Also heading south, southbound I-5 stacks up from Ravenna to I-90, again from 599 to Midway, and from State Route 18 to the Tacoma Dome. Southbound 405 slows from Southeast 8th to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167, that's got brake lights from 405 to near 212th, from Central to past Northwest 15th, and State Route 18 to near Sumner. Now, if you're driving north, well, northbound I-5 slows from the Michigan Curve to 520, again from the Boeing Freeway to Marine View Drive, and as you go through Marysville at times. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from 520 to Canyon Park. Drive time, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are near 45 minutes. If you're heading south, Bellevue to Renton is 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup is now 1 hour and 5 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma is 1 hour and 10 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that has climbed to 50 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Atmospheric river again rolling through the states. Actually going to see some periods of dry weather tomorrow, then heavy rain starting tomorrow night into Wednesday. Right now, 59 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go with the John Curley Show. 1-888-973-5476. Oh, new lighting. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. We should have Home Comfort Alliance come in here. What do you think of the new lighting?
I think it's fantastic.
Is Aaron well lit? I like all the signs because the cameras are so low. Watch your head.
Yeah.
Sully hit his head on that. That's why they put it there.
Unsurprising.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see some of his beard hair still stuck in the lens.
I'm your conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Okay. Thank you, Sully.
What do you think of it?
Yeah, it looks better than it was before.
Amen.
But that for some reason they feel it's important for people to see you.
Brave new world.
It is. People looks like, why don't you talk to the camera? The camera's too far away. I don't want to look at the camera. Look just, I'm like a guy just looking at the screen. There's nothing on the screen. It's just like I'm looking there trying to talk. I don't want to look at the thing. Sorry, YouTube people out there.
I think it looks a little weird when you're staring right at the camera anyway.
I want to tell you about all right, this day in history, Joe. Let's get started here. Oh, it was 1940. The Bears taking out the Redskins. He used to call them the Redskins back then. 73-0 in the NFL championship game. And apparently, a lot of people on TikTok now think that it was rigged.
Really?
I'm only kidding. Pearl Harbor's attack, 1941. Jeanette Rankin cast the sole vote against going to war against Japan in 1941. 1949, Chinese nationalists moved to the capital of Taiwan. All sorts of interesting stuff happening in Taiwan right now.
Yes.
In the real news there in 1969, Nixon says the Vietnam War is over. Lenin is shot in New York City, right in front of Paula's apartment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was living there at the time. 1987, superpowers agree to reduce nuclear arsenal. Yeah, good luck with that. And then NAFTA is signed into law in 1993. We'll just sort of split these up into two. Jeanette Rankin was born in, where was she born? Probably Montana. She went to the University of Washington. She was the first woman to be elected to Congress from Montana. And when it came to World War I, she voted no on that one, with a few other people as well, voting no, not wanting to go to war. And then when Japan attacks Pearl Harbor, they have a 40-minute debate on the floor. And Rankin is like, no, I'm voting no. She was the only member of Congress to vote no against going to war with Japan. She said, as a woman, I cannot go to war, and I refuse to send anyone else. Outside of Congress at the time, right out there, when the House was adjourned, there were a bunch of quote-unquote patriots out there waiting to beat the crap out of her. So the police had to escort her out. Her life was threatened numerous times. But she never ran again. She figured she would never win again. So she finished out her term and then went on to become very active in a bunch of causes. She was a avowed pacifist, and she fought hard against the Vietnam War. The woman was really, way ahead of her time. And I give her a lot of credit because she knew by voting no, that was the end of her career. But at least she was able to stand up for her principles. She had principles. She felt that FDR had deliberately, done enough to instigate and to cause Japan to want to come to the United States and cause great harm. 2,500 men died there at the attack of Pearl Harbor. 300 planes and I think 11 of our aircraft carriers, or at least our ships, were destroyed. It was really interesting. 24 hours before Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, everyone there at Pearl Harbor had been doing a sneak attack drill where they were firing with live ammunition. And apparently, the training went on for like 12 hours, exhausting. They had moved the ships around, and they just were worked out what would happen if we were to get attacked. So they were ready for it. Then they collected all the ammunition, they put it all away, and everyone was pretty tired from the real life or the real drills. And then they were all in bed, kind of hanging out, asleep. And there were two guys that were watching this radar installation that had been set up. And radar had really been perfected by the British, and they were using it against the Germans. But we didn't really have the same advanced radar that the UK did, and there were a lot of problems with it. It had a lot of false positives, occasionally birds or whatever. So these two guys at around 1:15 in the morning, don't quote me on the time, they happen to see this giant black blob going across the radar screen, and they're concerned about it. And the one guy turned to the other guy, should we tell somebody? He's like, yeah, well, we could, I guess. But they didn't want to call a superior and wake him up in the middle of the night if the thing turned out to be nothing. So the other guy said, yeah, don't worry about it. So by that time, at about 7:30, the blob disappeared. The big mark on the radar disappeared because of geographical locations of the mountains and the hills nearby. And then by, I think it was around 8 o'clock in the morning or somewhere close in there, the first Japanese planes arrived. Many of the pilots that were flying for Japan were novices because the other ones, the more advanced veterans of air battles, were doing work somewhere else. So these were a lot of guys that didn't know what they were doing, but they knew enough to be able to destroy so many of the assets that we had there at Pearl Harbor. The stories, I think the last veteran that was there, I think he just died a couple of months ago. He was 102 years old. And I was watching a documentary about him and his life at that time. And one other weird sort of thing, I was in Mexico a couple of weeks ago, and I met this guy. His last name is Curley. And I said, wow, you're really tan for a Curly. Well, my mom's Hawaiian. And he told me, do you remember that scene in that movie, the Pearl Harbor movie, where the woman is hanging up clothes on the clothesline, and then she turns her head and watches the Japanese Zeros going by? I said, yeah. He goes, that was my mom. And I bothered to go, what? Yeah, in the movie, suddenly I'm out of focus. Is that me, or am I having a stroke?
No.
I said, where'd they get that idea? And he goes, got that from my dad, because my dad was one of the guys that was involved. He was high up in the military, and he told the story about that, so they included it in the movie.
With so many weird coincidences, and with the United States needing almost to go to war to get out of the Depression.
Yeah, because Roosevelt was slipping a whole bunch of money to Great Britain. And then remember, Great Britain sent a spy, got a guy from Canada, to feed Roosevelt a whole bunch of garbage.
Right.
And one of them was, Roosevelt was like, we have on good authority that Hitler intends to go to South America.
Yeah,
and they just, anything they could do to foment, enough sort of public uprising that this is this horrible thing.
Well, he seemed to be champing at the bit to get into the war.
He had to, because there's no other way to get us out of this depression. But he realized if we could go to war, then all of a sudden everybody goes to work, and then we're producing all this stuff.
So they stopped live fire exercises on a surprise air attack 12 hours before the surprise air attack. The people monitoring the radar just happen to see something but decide they don't want to wake up their superior officer. Is there any part of you that believes that they just kind of let it happen, like a false flag kind of situation?
I know that Roosevelt he realized, he was already supporting the war. The question is, when they did the naval blockade so Japan could not get oil, what did they think was going to happen? How long would that have gone on for? First time caller line, west of the Mississippi. Yeah, the guy that, prior to his death, Elliott, this is George E. Elliott, Jr., who was manning the new radar equipment in the state-of-art SCR-270. He's the one, he said, no, listen, publicly he gave his version, one that betrayed him. He said, I am not the one that ignored the warnings. Because they thought it was a bunch of American B-17 bombers that were flying back from Japan. So it was a judgment call. They said, we're not going to wake up our superiors saying, oh, we see something. And then the guys, that's just a bunch of B-17 bombers coming back from San Francisco. Don't wake me. Right. I'm sure somebody's got a book out there saying that Roosevelt knew the whole time and let America get attacked. What are you bringing that up for? Is that your idea or mine? That's your idea. Jeez. Where's that clap of thunder when you need it? Maybe it's going to be coming with the rain. Ted, you got traffic for us?
I do. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Wet pavement and road spray. They're offering challenges for your Monday afternoon commute. On southbound I-5, just south of Jane Street, we've got a disabled vehicle that's blocking the center lane. Response crews are there. We got traffic backed up to near Lake City Way. Heading north, northbound I-5 slows from the Michigan curve into downtown and again from the Boeing Freeway to Marine View Drive, and it's slow at times as you go through Marysville. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from 520 to Beardsley. Heading south, southbound I-5 stacks up from 599 to Midway and from State Route 18 to State Route 16. Southbound 405 slows from downtown Bellevue to the Renton curves, and southbound 167 has got brake lights from 405 to past Northwest 15th and State Route 18 into Puyallup. Drive times: Bellevue to Renton, 27 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on 167, that is now an hour and 5 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is 55 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia, that now is also 55 minutes. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those have eased to around 40 minutes. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Ted Beener. I got to tell you something. I've turned into one of these guys that's just constantly asking people, hey, you got bone-on-bone problems? How's your wrist or ankle, shoulder? I keep waiting for them to go, I got a bad hip. I got a bad shoulder. Like last night, my buddy Jeff Austin came by, and we're having dinner. I said, you got any problems? He goes, why you keep asking? I said, because you got to get stem cell. I've become a stem cell advocate. I said, you got to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine, and you've got to get stem cells. So if you got bone on bone, or your knee is bad, if you got a bad shoulder, elbow, whatever the problem is. And then I go into this like long half-hour thing about how I had a bad hip. I was supposed to get surgery. I go to see Dr. Mark Wagner. He takes a look at my x-rays and my MRI, and it's a 90-minute in-office procedure. And I think it's about 8 weeks now. I feel great. Went for a run over the weekend. I'm back. So if you have got some problem because you're aging and all of a sudden the elbow, the knee, the wrist, the ankle, the shoulder, whatever it is, or hip, and you're thinking about surgery, whoop. Don't do that yet. Go see drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You know us. We're the heating and air conditioning company with the big colorful logo and the recognizable trucks you see all over Western Washington. You know us as the company that believes in the good we're doing and the impact home comfort has on your personal happiness. In its third generation, our family-owned business has been improving the lives of our customers every day since 1957. Call the experts in installation, service, and repair. Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Your family's comfort is our family's business.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Hey, it's Brock Hewitt here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, December 14th. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, December 2nd through December 8th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Is that better? I feel like I'm a little hitsy. Gotta get a haircut.
The high chair.
Oh, yes. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the John Curley Show. By the way, was it 36 or 37 years of Treehouse?
7, I think.
Yeah, holiday magic happening. I guess, is it a Thursday? It's Thursday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, that's right. Sorry.
This
Jeff.
Wednesday.
Wow, thank God you're here. Okay. It's your chance. By the way, silent auction is already open. You can do bidding online for that. The thing that we always dominate with is get a chance to spend some time in the studio when we're doing the show. I think we wiped up on that last year. We beat everybody.
Last 2 years, but
my friend Roger Jobs comes in at the last minute. He's like, "What do you need?" It's like, "I don't know. What do you want to give?" "How about 5,000? How about 10,000? I'm like, "Sure." He goes, "I just want you to beat those other guys."
Yeah, and then never comes in.
No, that's what you need.
And last year it was I don't recall her name, but she's a horse trainer. I think
yeah.
Issaquah. She didn't want to come in either.
Yeah, that's what we love. I mean, because let me tell you, here's what happens. If you bid on these things, especially with the other shows, you come in, you're like, after 5 minutes, like, that's it?
It's not true. They love it. It's a very exciting experience for everyone who's done it.
Fishing with Wyman, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Wow, it's already up to $1,500 full throttle. The Car Lovers Escape, that's at $250. There's all sorts of great stuff. Here's the way I look at it. Don't buy something for your aunt or your uncle because whatever you get them, they don't really need, isotoner gloves or a scarf or something. You could take whatever the money you're going to spend on cousins, aunts, uncles. Let's move it even down to like older kids that are already married and have stuff. Give the money to Treehouse. You are directly affecting the lives of kids that are in the foster care system. This is the smartest and best investment that you can make because this money, whatever it is, $250, $100 or $5,000 or $10,000, whatever it is, you are basically injecting that right into society. And you are saying to these kids that by no fault of their own in the foster care system that need extra help when it comes to education, or maybe they want to take a musical instrument. They decide they really want to play the saxophone or the guitar. Where are they going to get something like that? That's where Treehouse comes in. So they give sort of 360-degree support for the kids for whatever they need. So this thing is the ongoing tradition of KIRO Radio. We go all live the entire day, and we give everybody an opportunity to be able to give. And right now, Holiday Magic Auction is open. Let's see.
We're even live during
Brock and Sock are already up to $550 on an in-studio visit.
No, really?
Oh, really?
Hold on, Teeny.
Let me double check that.
We're at $250. Well, we just opened.
I think that's a starting bid. That's what they value it.
Here's my credit card. Here, throw some money in there. Here. Here's my credit card. Throw some money in there. I don't want to be behind those guys. All right. Ted, check your traffic for us. Ted, what do you got?
Alrighty, it is wet out there. Take it easy on the roads and maintain enough room behind that car in front of you on southbound I-5 just south of Jane Street. Based on the cams, look like that disabled vehicle is cleared, but it sure left a traffic backup to near Lake City Way. A new crash on northbound I-5 just south of the West Seattle Bridge. That is cleared to the right shoulder. Heading south, southbound I-5 stacks up from 599 to Midway, from State Route 18 to State Route 16, and now is crawling through JBLM. Southbound 405 slows from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167 has got brake lights from 405 to past Northwest 15th and from State Route 18 into Puyallup. Heading north, northbound I-5 slows from the Michigan Curve into downtown, pauses as you go through Shoreline, and slows again from the Boeing Freeway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405, that has scattered slowing from 520 to past Canyon Park. Drive times, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, not too bad, about 40 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton is up to 32 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, that's an hour and 5 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, that's now an hour and 15 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM is 55 minutes. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Ted. For 25 years, Longevity Medical Clinic has been there for people that want to be able to use the latest science to be proactive when it comes to their health. Because let's face it, normally the way it works is you get a problem and then you don't even really know that you have the problem until you go to the doctor and he's like, "Ooh, my gosh, you've got the beginning signs of heart disease or diabetes or cancer." Those are the big ones. Or you got some other problems as well, and then they try to fix the problem. But if your doctor was proactive and looking for early indicators of something like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, and they would see it and be able to stop it, reverse it, you just get more years to be able to enjoy your life. It's in their name, Longevity Medical Clinic. I have been a patient since 2009, and it's such a simple investment of your time. It's only about 4 or 5 hours a year. That is that you go, you do a blood draw, and then you get a chance to talk to the doctor for an hour, either in person or over the phone, and they're looking through 55 different indicators to see how you're aging. And then they make small little incremental changes to make sure that you have a good, long life. You want to find out more, you can be proactive right now. Go and take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Save the date, Wednesday, December 10th. Join KIRO News Radio and Treehouse for the 37th Annual Holiday Magic, providing holiday gifts and year-round support for more than 6,500 kids in foster care statewide. Over the past 36 years of Holiday Magic, we've delivered 182,000 gifts across our state. Join KIRO News Radio and Treehouse this year and share the joy of the holiday season. Wednesday, December 10th. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 to learn more.
Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
At your local credit union, WSECU, making a difference isn't just a motto, it's a mission. That's why they're honoring Washington's community champions, the everyday heroes who strengthen our communities. Steve Rabel here with WSECU board member Marcus Glasper, and it's time to announce our next community champion.
Our community champion this week is Crystal Ortega. Crystal rescues surplus food from across Spokane County, driving hundreds of miles each week to collect and deliver to food banks. Crystal, thank you for helping keep people well fed in your community.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on.
like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For them, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Challenging presidential power and independent agency firings.
This is a pretty clear 6-3 split.
Farm aid package.
A president is able to put farmers first.
Paramount Skynet still wants Warner Brothers Discovery.
They want to take it directly to the shareholders.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. After hearing arguments, the Supreme Court seems open to allowing President Trump to fire some agency officials without cause. At issue is whether or not Trump has the authority to fire Rebecca Slaughter, a Democratic-appointed member of the Federal Trade Commission. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor tells the Solicitor General arguing the case for the president.
You're asking us to destroy the structure of government and to take away from Congress its ability to protect its idea that the government is better structured with some agencies that are independent.
CBS's Jan Crawford.
This is a Supreme Court that has signaled over the years that is increasingly concerned about the power that these independent federal agencies now exercise. Whatever it may have looked like back in 1914 when Congress created the Federal Trade Commission, that is not the modern day federal agency.
President Trump announces an aid package for farmers hurt by tariffs and a U.S. trade war with China.
They're great people. They're the backbone of our country. So we're going to use that money to provide $12 billion in economic assistance to American farmers.
Iowa farmer Court Hullab tells President Trump,
"From me, I want to say thank you for this bridge payment. It's Christmas early for farmers."
The administration says the money will be dispersed by the end of February. Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last December, returned to court today for a pretrial hearing. Mangione's lawyers are fighting to exclude evidence from his state murder case in New York, including a loaded gun magazine, as CBS News legal contributor Caroline Polisi explains.
He's arguing essentially that this was a violation of his Fourth Amendment rights because it was a warrantless search.
Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, about 230 miles west of Manhattan, where Thompson was killed. Paramount Skynet, which owns CBS, makes a bid for all of Warner Brothers Discovery, valued at $108 billion, challenging a $72 billion offer by Netflix. Paramount Skydance will go straight to Warner shareholders with a cash bid. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
For shareholders, they have to think about they're not really equal in terms of structure. And so we're going to see over the next few weeks, I think, a lot of back and forth, a lot of Netflix and Paramount and Warner Brothers coming out and saying why their deal is better.
The Dow closed down 216 points. NASDAQ slipped 32. Now this.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
Gearing up for a blast of heavy rainfall coming up after Ted Biener at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. On southbound I-5, just south of Jane Street, the earlier disabled vehicle has cleared, but it left a backup to near Lake City Way. And the crash on northbound I-5, just south of the West Seattle Bridge, it is over on the right shoulder. Otherwise, heading south, southbound I-5 is gummed up from about 599 to Midway, slows from State Route 18 all the way to 78th in Tacoma, and crawls through JBLM. Southbound 405 is slow from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167's got plenty of brake lights from 405 to past Northwest 15th, and from State Route 18 into Puyallup. Heading north, northbound I-5 slows from Albro into downtown, Pauses as you go through Shoreline and again from the Boeing Freeway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405, that has scattered slowing from 520 to Canyon Park. Some drive times, Bellevue to Renton, that is 31 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, that is an hour and 5 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is 51 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia, that is 55 minutes. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, those are both right around 40 minutes. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. It is setting up to be one of the region's worst flooding events since November 2022. Atmospheric river off the coast, slamming into western Washington. Here's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Heavy rain, high winds, and flooding Monday through Thursday. UW meteorologist Cliff Mass says it's not all bad news, however, because we need the water.
We'll fill up the reservoirs now, so we have plenty of water for the next 6 months or so, and then hopefully we'll get more snow.
Expect 3 to 6 inches around Seattle and up north, 10 to 15 inches in the South Cascades, with river flooding, especially the Snoqualmie River. The worst hit areas between Portland and Chehalis. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
So prepare now if you do live near rivers or creeks. Sherry Batra with King County Emergency Management advises residents to move belongings to higher ground, secure those outdoor items, and grab sandbags.
If you go to kingcounty.gov sandbags, you should be able to find, we have a list of 14 locations that you can get sandbags from.
Mudslides are also a big concern, especially in burn scar areas like Bolt Creek near Skykomish. 42-year-old man is now charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of a 14-year-old boy in Tacoma. Prosecutors say Nicholas Prather was arguing with teens in a car near East 64th and McKinley on Friday. Court documents say a passenger in that car tried to pepper spray Prather, then a shot was fired. The boy later died at the hospital. Prather turned himself in, bail set at $1 million. Pierce County Sheriff's Office says it took down a major marijuana grow operation over the weekend. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch tells us more.
Investigators say it was a family-run illegal drug enterprise. 7 people arrested, men and women ranging in age from 36 to 70, all arrested for growing and harvesting illegal marijuana from 3 family homes in the South Hill, Puyallup, Spanaway areas. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
588 growing plants at one location. One of the second locations had 1,572 growing plants.
Also confiscated $15,000 in cash, vehicles, and a handgun. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Heavy rain shifting south tonight, but rivers will start to rise. Drier day tomorrow, but rain and breezy conditions can return late. Heavy rain Wednesday and Thursday. Right now, 59 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
No.
Oh,
No.
Sorry. Whoopi doesn't want to be on. All right, bye. Tom Bowman, wherever you are. June 30th, your last day of work. He works for Maple Valley in government. Spent a ton of money Friday night. Big fan of the show. Drives around wasting government taxpayer dollars.
Attaboy, Tom.
I know you're out there, Bowman. Hit it, Andrew. Let's get this guy on. Tonight, Johnny's guest, the amazing Kreskin, Burt Reynolds, Sammy Davis Jr., and Stump the Band. All right, Mark Malkoff. Love Johnny Carson, one obsessed fan's journey to find the genius behind the legend. Let me just say to you, my friend, you were born in 1977, so he goes off the air in 1992. How are you an obsessed fan?
I was 16 when he went off the air. I was born actually a year earlier. Wikipedia, for some reason,
all right.
got it wrong. But no, I was a teenager, and my dad, when I was like 5 years old, got me interested in, people like Buddy Hackett and Jerry Lewis. So kids are talking about Mighty Mouse in kindergarten, and I'm talking about Richard Pryor and Rodney Dangerfield. And there was just something so lovable and likable about Carson, with kids, with animals, A-list movie stars, and then he's with like a woman who collects potato chips.
Oh, yes.
She's an inspector.
Classic. Classic.
And it's like he was good with them all.
Why? You know what? I am so jealous of you, first of all, because you just do a whole bunch of crazy stunts and get lots of publicity.
Yeah.
I love your imagination on that. But more importantly, you got a chance to interview so many people that were on the Johnny Carson show. You even talked to the guy whose job it was to pull back the curtain so he had that one job, pull the curtain back for Johnny and for all of the guests as well. And you talked to Dick Cavett. I
talked to him, a couple times. Cavett told me this story. He's 12 years old in Nebraska, and Johnny Carson is just a local doing radio and TV, and he was doing magic in a church basement. Cavett and two of his friends who did magic went to Johnny's show, and they went backstage beforehand and introduced themselves. Were 12-year-old magicians. And Carson, during the show, he's like a decade older, introduced, like kind of Ed Sullivan would say, stand up, and Carson introduced Cavett and his friends, and Cavett told me that he wrote in his journal that night, I met Johnny Carson today. It was the greatest day of my life.
What was it about Johnny Carson? I know I had read, because I was a big fan of his, nothing compared to the work that you did. But he used to say that the spotlight shouldn't shine on me. It should shine on the guest, right? So his whole thing was the guest. The guest was the most important part of the interview and the show.
That was the rule. The number one rule, Johnny's producer, Peter LaSalle, told me is for Johnny, number one rule, Johnny, make your guest look good. Some hosts try to get the laugh and try to outdo the comedian or the guest, and Johnny was fine for the other person getting the laugh. He was secure. Now, the first half of the show was Johnny. It was the monologue, a comedy spot. But then when the guests were out, he would get out of the comedian's way, and he didn't have to go over them. And he didn't make fun of people. Like Merv Griffin made the mistake of making fun of Tiny Tim, the singer with high falsetto voice, ukulele, where Johnny didn't make fun of him. And we all know that wedding in December of 1969, 40 million people tune in at 11:30, second to the moon landing, because Johnny Carson was that likable.
Was he that likable off the air, though?
His friends told me, and a lot of these people have never talked publicly, they told me that he was almost the same Carson on and off camera, which to me, I couldn't believe, because the media made him out to be cold and aloof. They said a little less gregarious, but it was a small group of people that he felt comfortable with. I mean, this is a guy that was on a list for Mark David Chapman, who killed John Lennon. He was on a list, if it wasn't Lennon, to kill Carson. FBI had to routinely protect Carson. Just for self-preservation reasons, he couldn't always be on, and he was a shy person. So he definitely would shut down when he had to. But his inner circle would tell me consistently that he was very similar on camera, off camera, which I couldn't believe.
I had a chance to interview Ed McMahon, and I asked him about it, and he told me, he goes, well, Johnny's a very personal guy, and he didn't really, I said, were you friends? And he kind of said, not really.
Oh, gosh. In the beginning, they were. I mean, they were on a game show, Who Do You Trust, on ABC. And Johnny, during his first divorce, went back to Philadelphia with Ed on the train. And, Ed McMahon took care of Johnny during the drinking, during the New York years. Johnny, on his Tonight Show, would say, I have an alcohol problem. When I drink too much, I turn into Attila the Hun. I want to fight everybody. Some people get fun-loving when they drink. I go the opposite. And Ed was basically Johnny's bodyguard and getting him back home during the drinking. Then they got to California, and that's when they kind of like a little bit went apart. But they would get together during birthdays and get together during anniversaries. And then Johnny had a son die in 1991, and then Ed had a son tragically die in 97, and that brought them back together. That's after they left the show.
I like this scene. This is when Ed was Ed drunk in 78? Right. Here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here he goes.
I'll tell you all about it.
Here it is. Here he's playing it.
Remember the animals that did something funny on your tie?
Yes.
Those little lions and little baby lions were 1 year old.
That's right.
They are now treacherous and ferocious 10-year-old animals.
Okay. Anyway, John Embry is here tonight.
So was he drunk?
Yeah, that was the only time in the Tonight Show history that Ed was actually drunk. He was in Beverly Hills with singer Paul Williams and Pat McCormick, who's a writer. And Ed had just found out that 2 court cases had gone his way, and he was celebrating drinking. And he was actually slurring when the opening announcement of the Tonight Show. And Johnny tried to not bring much focus to it, but Ed just kept interrupting Johnny. And finally, Johnny's like, "You're not fooling anyone." But it was really something that the viewers loved. I mean, they were so good with each other, Johnny and Ed.
Yeah.
But once in a while, Ed McMahon would overstep, but that's going to happen. But overall, they were a great team for 30 years.
There were some people that he had them on, and then he never wanted them on again. Who were some of the people?
Yes.
Yeah, who were the ones who didn't want on, Mark?
William Shatner was banned from the show because he did 3 things that Carson didn't like. One is that he came on and wouldn't let Johnny talk. He was long-winded for 2 or 3 minutes with no payoff, didn't stick to the pre-interview. Then he turns his back to Johnny and talks to Buddy Hackett, who had just been on the show, and Johnny didn't like when the guests turned their back to him. And then the third is back then he said, my next guest is on a show called TJ Hooker. It's on Saturday night on another network. And of course, Shatner says, "I'm on ABC, watch me." And they had to bleep it out. So Johnny's like, this guy's never coming back.
And why Ellen DeGeneres?
She was told not to do a certain joke that was deemed offensive, and she did it. I mean, Johnny looked at it, "You're coming into my home. You're going to behave with certain etiquette," and they had told her not to do it, and she did it. This is back when the show was in real time. If there was a mistake, they would keep it in. For example, Robert Goulet forgot the lyrics to Memories from Cats, and Carson said, "We're not stopping, keep going." And John Davidson had the same thing. He would just, until they got it. And it was part of the charm that he would just keep the cameras rolling, and the mistakes all got in.
Here's a question for you, Mark.
Yeah.
When Bette Midler sang "One for My Baby, One More for the Road," did you cry?
I was definitely very emotional. It was one of those things where Carson said it was the most magical thing that's ever happened in his television history. Bette Midler to this day has never seen it because it was that affected her. She won an Emmy for it. And, Johnny really told people he didn't think he was going to be that sentimental leading up to the show, but that got him. And Bette was supposed to sit down with Johnny after the song, but she was sobbing and so overcome with emotion that she ran backstage. And Johnny had tears in his eyes on the final episode when he said goodbye to America, and America did too.
Why did he leave? Ed McMahon told me off camera that he got tired of talking to people that were quote unquote movie stars, but were not good storytellers. So you take just any one of those early stars that could sit down there and tell amazing stories. Johnny loved that, but he didn't know who these young actors were, just coming on and using the Johnny Carson couch to promote movies that Johnny said he would never see.
That's true. There were certain young people that stars that Johnny didn't want on because he didn't think they have any life experience. But then like an unknown Tom Hanks on Bosom Buddies blew Johnny away. Part of it was Saturday Night Live. He hated the Dana Carvey sketches where Dana played him. They were portraying him as senile and out of touch. And Johnny did not want to be like Bob Hope, who he thought stayed way too long. And he thought if the younger people were really looking at him like this, it was time to get out. So in May of 1992, Johnny said goodbye to America, broke everyone's heart. And then for 2 years, we did see him. He did the American Teacher Awards, Bob Hope's 90th birthday, The Simpsons, and then he made a cameo on Letterman when Letterman was in Los Angeles and made a surprise standing ovation. It was so emotional, and then we never saw him again.
I like when he would be interviewed about politics, and he used to say, I don't do those jokes, right? Because he said, the Republican, Democrat, he said there's no need to do that type of comedy, that he would make fun, just poke gentle fun at, Ford or Nixon or whoever was the president at the time, but he never really, got into any of that, hard right or hard left stuff.
We never knew his politics. He thought it was a mistake for other people, comedians, to give to say where they stood. He thought, why would I lose half of my audience? I mean, whoever was in the administration, he would hammer. But, like Gerald Ford, he thought it was funny, but the perception that he was a stumbler, Chevy Chase and Carson with the jokes, it was definitely hard for him. Nancy Reagan called Johnny Carson once and said, "Ronnie does not dye his hair. I want the jokes to stop." So the next night, Carson said, Reagan does not dye his hair, but he does bleach his face. So that was his response to Nancy Reagan. So, but he was this guy that was endlessly charming, and he would not make fun of the guest. I mean, he would try to make you look good, as we said before. And there's not There's not a Johnny Carson today. I like a lot of the late night hosts now, but I don't think that they really compare to Carson.
Because he knew how to interview them. I mean, he was such a good listener, right? Jimmy Stewart would be on there, and he always wanted Jimmy to tell stories, and Jimmy Stewart telling the story about Bo the dog, right? The great story about the poem of the dog. Or just sit there. He just sit there and just listen to the stories, and just. I mean, he had Ayn Rand on from Fountainhead. I mean,
that's right.
He would have very interesting people, not just entertainers, but people that were fascinating. I watched an interview the other day with Richard Pryor was sitting in the second seat, and there was this woman dressed all in white, and she was talking about she was an entitled person, and Richard Pryor says, well, people are starving in America. And she's like, I don't think so. I don't know what that episode was, but it was weird, strangely awkward. But Johnny was just sort of enjoying this exchange. Smart people telling smart stories. And that's why the show was so incredibly popular for so many years. I always watched it. My brother and I always laughed because he'd go up into the audience and do that thing where, they're stump the band or whatever it was.
Yes.
Right. And then he'd go, so we got 2 tickets. And they're like, oh, there's 4 of you. Can we do 2? We can do 2 at the Coconut. Like, why can't they do 2 extra seats at the Coconut Room? I was always so stupid. We can do 2. We can't do 2. We can do 2. Okay, we can do 2. It's like, of course they could get 2 extra seats or 2 extra dinners there. And how did he not know where? He's always like, is Doc here? Is Doc not here? Is Doc here? How did he not know if Doc was there or not?
I think it was part of the shtick. I don't know. There were certain things that just stuck. Like Doc one night mistakenly just wore this flashy outfit. It was a one-off, and Johnny's like, every night, Doc, I need you to do this. And it just became a thing. Rodney Dangerfield initially was doing 25. Every comedian would do about 25 jokes. Dangerfield was so good that they would let him do a stand-up 25 jokes and then sit down with Johnny and do another 25. He was so prolific and a powerhouse. Anybody goes on YouTube and watch Rodney Dangerfield's Carson sets, I think he was maybe the best comic that ever went on that on the Tonight Show.
Mark, I found a clip from that.
Keep busy all the time, keep working, And I relax too, Yeah. Oh, yeah. If not a relax, I went to a wild party.
Did you? Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, I played a new version of Russian roulette. Yeah, we passed around 6 girls, and one of them had VD.
I don't think you could probably do that today, but back then they were drinking and smoking on the television.
He would smoke during the commercial breaks, right? Johnny would?
He would. Yeah, he would. Early in New York, he would drink 1 glass of vodka during the hour and 45 minutes. Then it went down to 9 minutes. And then when it became you couldn't really smoke on TV, he would puff in between commercials. And if they would do a close-up of a guest, he'd take a quick puff. But you know what? He didn't quit smoking until after he left the show, and it was too late. He got emphysema, health issues, and died in 1979. He told his brother Dick, it's the damn cigarettes. He was chain smoking 2 packs of Pall Malls every day since he was about 14 years old, and it did him in.
Wow. Your love for the guy, even though I'm sorry, Wikipedia had you younger or older at the time. But the book.
I shaved a year off, and I'll take it. Why not?
By the way, we have to have you on again. When is your next prank? When you're finished selling these books? Because your pranks have been like you try to visit every single Starbucks in New York City. You try to beat a bus by driving a big wheel through New York.
I did. I won by 2 minutes. It was a big wheel versus bus on 42nd Street. I beat the bus, luckily. But yeah,
I like you got
some new stuff.
You got in a hybrid car and drove around to see how many different mayors would give you the key to the city.
Just for asking, I got 95. I got the key to Baltimore, the Milwaukee, small town mayors, big time mayors. I like just doing these things and see what I can pull off. But definitely when I'm doing my next one, I'll let you know. And I'd love to come back. It would be an honor.
Right. And I got to get your book. Love Johnny Carson, one obsessive fan's journey to find the genius behind the legend. It certainly is the case that he really was a genius. And I don't know about you, Mark, but I'll put you in the same category because you love Johnny Carson so much. Hey, thank you. Mark Markoff, thank you very much for coming on and spend some time with us.
It's good seeing you. We'll talk again.
Take him out with a little bit of music. Here he goes. Johnny's guest, Mark Markoff. Talking about his latest book. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. And I had to interview and then introduce him, Kreskin, the great Kreskin. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
We have somebody born the same year as me. Andrew, Kreskin?
Oh, boy.
Where's Ted Beaner? Ted.
Yeah.
The amazing Kreskin.
Don't know. I'm sorry. That's
okay,
terrible.
No, just traffic. Stop. Ow.
All right. This traffic report
is brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. On southbound I-5, just south of Stewart Street, a crash is blocking the right 2 lanes. We got a backup to near Northgate. The crash on northbound I-5, just south of the West Seattle Bridge. It's over on the right shoulder. Heading north, northbound I-5 slows from Albro all the way up to 85th. Pauses as you go through Shoreline and into Linwood, and is rolling slow from just north of the Boeing Freeway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from 520 to Canyon Park. Now, if you're heading south, southbound I-5 struggles from Interurban to Midway, slows from State Route 18 all the way to 512, and crawls as you go through JBLM. Southbound 405 slows from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167, that's got brake lights at times from 405 to past Northwest 15th, and from State Route 18 into Puyallup. And westbound 512, that is now sluggish from Puyallup to Canyon. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton, that has climbed to 36 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, that's an hour and 5 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 48 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia is now an hour. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are close to 45 minutes. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
You know, retirement sneaks up fast. One day you're saying, I've got plenty of time. The next thing you're asking, oh, my goodness, when do I take Social Security? And how much tax will I owe? And am I really going to be okay? Those are so many questions that people have. So what is the right approach to retirement? Well, on December 11th, coming up at 6:30 p.m., Madrona Financial and CPAs are hosting a free Zoom workshop. It's called the 7 Steps to a Successful Retirement. It's not just charts and market talk. It's the whole picture. Taxes, investment, Social Security timing, income planning, Medicare, estate planning, real answers to questions that shape everyday life. Madrona does retirement the way people live it. They're both wealth advisors and CPAs, so they'll show you all the moving parts and how they all fit together. You'll learn how to avoid the tax trap, build a simple income plan, and when it comes to Social Security and how to protect savings from market volatility. This is friendly, it's eye-opening, and the best part of it is you can ask all of your questions right from home. You can call 833-673-7373. I'll be on the call as well. I want to sign up. No, I'm not retiring yet, Joe. 833-673-7373. It takes 1 hour. You get all the clarity about retirement. 833-673-7373.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
There's a reason that no one in the course of human history has ever put a rail structure across a floating structure, because the engineering's been a little questionable. Well, Sound Transit's about to do it, and practice trains will cross Lake Washington in the next week or so. When can you expect to catch a ride across the lake? Find out tomorrow on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early. We're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Well, the wet, chilly weather has certainly arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and if your attic and crawl space are well insulated, your home should be fine. Should feel cozy and warm without your furnace having to work overtime. But you'd be surprised to learn how many homes in Western Washington lack insulation in these spaces. It's why you call Crawl Pros. If you're feeling cold drafts or seeing that heating bill spike, now's a great time to learn if you got anything going on behind that crawl space or attic by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come out to your house just like they did to mine, do the corner-to-corner inspection. In my case, they found the problem, showed me the pictures, and then they got it all fixed. Now, if they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates that are available to help you get the work done correctly. Like if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could get a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost of the insulation job. If you're worried anything is going on in your crawl space or attic, including critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing issues, anything, call Crawl Pros and schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The National Weather Service now expects at least 10 rivers to hit major flood stage as that strong atmospheric river flows into Washington. Puyallup River could reach its highest level in the past decade. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson is in Orting, where major flooding could occur.
Just the speed of the water here, we've seen some big logs and branches being pushed through the Puyallup. Well, the National Weather Service expects the river to crest at 11.5 feet from 10 p.m. tonight through 4 tomorrow morning. That is the highest level since 2015.
Worst flooding arrives after Wednesday's heavy rain. Still no word why a man jumped from a moving tour bus along I-5 this morning. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports that man did not survive.
The 34-year-old Hawaii man jumped from the bus along I-5 North just south of Bellingham on Sunday. Another vehicle hit him and he was killed. I-5 was partially shut down for several hours while the State Patrol investigated. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Just 1 week left now to sign up for insurance through Washington's Health Plan Finder if you want coverage on January 1st. The enrollment deadline comes as the U.S. Senate is set to vote this Thursday to extend Obamacare tax credits. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray says Democrats are calling for a clean 3-year extension.
Republicans need to understand it's literally now or never for stopping these premium hikes families are facing next year.
Republicans want reforms and restrictions tied to those tax credits. President Trump today announced a long-awaited farm aid package. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The Trump administration is taking $12 billion in tariff revenue and giving it to farmers.
This relief will provide much-needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops.
He said this will help lower food prices for families.
Maximizing domestic farm production is a big part of how we will make America affordable again.
Calling farmers.
They're great people. They're the backbone of our country.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
And that takes us to 4:33. We go to the real-time traffic desk with Ted Beener.
Thanks, Aaron. On southbound I-5 just south of Stewart Street, a crash is blocking the right 2 lanes, and there is a stall just south of James Street in the center lane. That leaves a backup all the way to Northgate. Heading south, southbound I-5, it is a slow go from Inner Urban to Midway. Struggles from State Route 18 all the way to near 512 in Tacoma. And crowds as you go through JBLM. Southbound 405 has got brake lights from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167 slows at times from 180th to past Northwest 15th and State Route 18 into Puyallup. And westbound 512, it is sluggish from Puyallup to Canyon. Westbound State Route 16 also now has slowing from the Narrows Bridge to near Rosedale. Heading north, northbound I-5 slows from Albro to Northgate, and it's got some braking as you go from the county line to 164th in Linwood, and is rolling slow from just north of the Boeing Freeway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 has scattered slowing from 520 to Canyon Park. Drive times, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are near 45 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton is 35 minutes, Renton to Puyallup, an hour and 5 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma is an hour and 10 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM is an hour. I'm Ted Wiener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Ted. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. You already know it's going to be a lot of rain this week, but tomorrow actually looks semi-dry before rainy weather and breezy conditions return late. Heavy rain and windy on Wednesday into Thursday. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You have just a few more hours to make a big difference for local kids. Today's the final day of the KIRO 7 Cares Toy Drive, benefiting Toys for Tots and the Salvation Army. Now through 5 p.m., drive by the KIRO 7 studios. Marines are standing by to take your donation of a new unwrapped toy. If you can't get to the studios, you can also give online now at KIRO7.com/toy drive.
Well said, well read, Joe. Bucky's Auto Service Centers for 16 locations, been around for 50 years. Go to Bucky's, all the Bucky's locations. Do it for Christmas. Take the kids there. They love when you come in. Bucky's! Here he comes. Yeah, Talking Sports with Rye Roller. Hello, Rye Roller. How are you?
Good. Very good.
Seahawks beat Seahawks beat the Falcons 37-9. You've got to be feeling pretty good about the Seahawks' march to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I love this music, so I'm just going to let it play.
Okay. To build the drama.
Yes. Well, no, I don't feel very good about this team right now. And in fact, if I was an unbiased observer, which of course I'm not, I'm a massive fan, I would be selling all of my Seahawks stock for a few reasons. I am really starting to get into this skeptical camp. And I've been in this skeptical camp about Sam Darnold all year. We've talked about it. Seahawks fans have been forced to look at 2024 Vikings tape all year. Why was Sam Darnold on the market at the end of last year? Well, because he had a horrible finish to the 2024 season. By the way, the Vikings last year were no slouches. They won 1 million games. I think they won 14. They were 14-3 to end the year. 14-2. How many games do we play now? Like 30. So, and Sam Darnold absolutely looked terrible when he had good opponents and went into the playoffs in the last few games, some high leverage games, high leverage spots to end the year. And Sam didn't look very good. That's why the Vikings put him up on the market and the Seahawks signed him for 3 years. I am having a hard time getting behind and rooting for Darnold and Kubiak. Now, look, yesterday was a blowout, and we blow out all these teams. It's hard to even watch that game and say that the Atlanta Falcons were even trying. That was pathetic. You look at that Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown. I think it was a 25, 30-yard touchdown. Something about that just looked fishy. It looked WWE-esque about the way the Falcons were trying to tackle and them kicking a field goal down 3 touchdowns. That was strange. The Seahawks don't have one big win and I love Mike McDonald. Love him. I watch every single press conference. I know everything about the guy. I am completely in love with the way he leads this team and the way he coaches this defense and the whole philosophy he's implanted on this team. But I'm still looking at this offense and going, look, we played the San Francisco 49ers week 1. They have a winning record. We lost. Okay, but that's week 1. You can sort of wipe that away. We played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a winning record. We lost. Okay, now I know we had a lot of injuries, but we gave up a lot of points in that game. We played the Los Angeles Rams. Sam Darnold, this is in recent memory. Right. Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions, and we lose that game. And I look at the way the defense even played yesterday in structure throughout the first half. Like Bijan Robinson had a lot of ground. to gain. It's like this vaunted Seahawks defense was gettable in that first half. Now Kirk Cousins has the mobility of an aircraft carrier, and it was just kind of a mess. Now the Falcons ended up beating themselves in a million ways, and Seattle is a good team. I'm not saying this is a bad team and that this is all a hoax, but I'm afraid of a team like Green Bay or a team like Philadelphia or a team like LA or San Francisco. When I watch Darnold play, he is such a spaz.
But right. I know, but roller.
Complete gong show.
Roll. 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, you said, listen, here's the thing. It was Sam Darnold had a good season until the end, and then it all fell apart with the Vikings. Then his stock went down. The Seahawks saw something in Darnold. You became a Darnold believer for a while, and you were saying to everybody that was, oh, Darnold sucks, he sucks. You said, no, this guy, he's good. He can hit. He can move out of the pocket, blah, blah, blah. You were going the whole thing. Now, all of a sudden, you're not a Darnold fan, and now you're selling stock on the Seahawks, even though last week you were saying, listen, I think this team can go to the Super Bowl.
Well, I indicated that that's what the odd makers and the analysts and the national media believe. If Darnold can turn around and hand the ball off and run for 5 yards and then run play actions, if the first read or second read is open and he can take a 5-step drop, hitch, throw the ball, he's lovely. He can hit open receivers and he can play in structure. But we're playing bad teams, and we've seen when Minnesota leads the league in blitz rate. How did he look against Minnesota? Atlanta is second in the league in blitz rate. How did he look yesterday? Did that look like the kind of guy who could win a Super Bowl or could go into Philadelphia or go into LA or San Francisco and win a team? I have an apprehension when it comes to, and that game yesterday, although it was another blowout, it's all we do is blow teams out now. Why am I complaining? But yes. There's something about it is very tentative. I have this timid feeling with Sam Darnold at the switch, and overall, and the Colts game, which I want to get to because this was going to be exciting. This could be a statement win, finally, a statement win in the Mike McDonald era. Well, their starting quarterback, Daniel Jones, tore his Achilles yesterday. Turns out their backup, for all of us college football fans out there, Riley Leonard, who went to Notre Dame last year and played boring and horrible football throughout the college football playoffs, he's hurt. So I'm going to take you back into the memory. Phillip Rivers, who is 44 years old and has 9 children. He is flying to Indianapolis right now to try out, and he might be starting in Seattle.
Was he with the Chargers? Wasn't Rivers with the Chargers?
He was with the Chargers for half of my life. He was drafted in the same draft as Eli Manning.
Wow. Holy moly.
And it looks like they're going to go to him because they don't have any depth. But the the Colts are desperate because they have a good record, and all they need is a competent quarterback to be able to get them into the playoffs. It's not like they're one of these losing teams that's just going to throw their hands up and just tank.
Yeah.
They want to win because they have such a great record. So Phillip Rivers, can you imagine the prospect of this is
he can't
amazing.
Be in shape, right?
Is he in shape? He's got 9 kids. He's doing something right.
Way. I think he was last spotted coaching his son's high school football team. And now he's going to play football in the NFL against the Seahawks this Sunday.
Is it Sunday or is it Monday? It's a Monday night game, isn't it? Is it a Monday?
It's a Sunday day game.
Oh,
Sunday
I'm sorry.
Day.
Okay, sorry. I know you wanted tickets to that for Christmas. Maybe.
Well, now who even cares, right?
All right, well, let's get a prediction from you, even though you hate this part of it. Thanks for humoring your old man.
It's okay.
The Seahawks taking on. Yes, go ahead.
I just hate to sound like a Scrooge because the Seahawks are 10-3, and they obviously are a very well-run team. I just have some apprehensions when it comes to the outlook of this team in January and possibly, knock on wood, February.
Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Seahawks Colts. I think 27. I mean, if Phillip Rivers is starting, just all bets are off, right? Like, what could you possibly say? Is there a way they score a point? The guy is 44 years old.
Wait, is he definitely going to be the quarterback?
They're working him out, and if it's not him, it's a guy named Brett Rypien, who you may know him from his time in Denver and Jets. People who don't have a social life like me might remember him, but Brett Rypien would be the starter. Either way, again, another easy win. Parlay it into Thursday. We play the Rams on Thursday night. That is now the big game.
That is the big game. Well, Rye Roller, thank you very much. Is that a KOZI?
And if that's possible.
Is that a KOZI sweatshirt you got on there? Look at you, huh? All right. Wow, that's nice merch.
You know it.
Thank you, Right Roller.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Take care. We'll see you soon. And Ellensburg. There he goes, out the door. Wow, huh? Hate to throw his own words back in it, but he's moving around, looking at the numbers, and he doesn't think this is the team to bet on. Huh? What?
When the Mariners were about to, head to the World Series, or it looked like they probably would, he kind of flipped on them, too.
I know, what's wrong with that kid?
Is this self-preservation?
I don't know what's going on.
What's going on?
I'm embarrassed. I don't know who his father is. Ted, taking a look at traffic. Ted Beamer, what's going on out there?
I was just going to say, I think he's been disappointed so many times. That's just the way he is at this point. All right, traffic-wise, on southbound I-5 just south of James Street, a stalled semi blocks the center lane. That's left a backup to near Northgate. In Arlington, the text line noted a crash on northbound State Route 9 at Division. Heading north, northbound I-5 is sluggish from Albro to Northgate. Got some braking as you go through Shoreline to 164th in Linwood, and is rolling slow from just north of the Boeing Freeway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from 520 to Canyon Park. Heading south, southbound I-5 is a slow go from Inner Urban to Midway. Struggles from State Route 18 all the way to near 512, and we've got crowding as you go through JBLM. Southbound 405 has got brake lights from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167 slows at times from 405 to 212, from Central to past Northwest 15th, and State Route 18 into Puyallup. Westbound State Route 16 also has slowing from the Narrows Bridge to near Rosedale. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton is 35 minutes. Renton to Puyallup is an hour and 5 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is 50 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia, that is an hour. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, they're both close to 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
Folks, you know that moment in December when all of a sudden you step out of the bed and you realize, oh my gosh, it's really cold in the house. You go downstairs, turn the thermostat up, and it's not working. There's nothing working. Or maybe you have an electrical problem or a plumbing problem, right? The pipes freeze, bunch of problems there. Winter does all of a sudden make life slightly uncomfortable. You know what makes it more comfortable? Home Comfort Alliance. Here's what I recommend you do. Put Home Comfort Alliance in your phone. Have it there just in case. Just in case. Or perhaps write it down on a piece of paper, put it on the refrigerator, and have Home Comfort Alliance ready to go. Because when it comes to heating, cooling, or plug and electrical needs, if all of a sudden Old Man Winter throws you a curveball and you find out you are out of heat, something is broken down in the system, you want to make sure that Home Comfort Alliance is there for you. I can tell you from personal experience, when they came to our house in Sammamish and they came out to the barn in Cle Elum, the best people to work with. So right now, as winter starts to roll in, you make sure you've got Home Comfort Alliance ready to go for you. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Did you know that over the past 10 years, home values have increased the most during the first quarter of the year? So how much is your home worth right now? Check it out instantly at sellwithwest.com. Sure, there are other apps out there you can use, but most of them are national companies. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than West Jones. If you're even thinking about making a move in 2025, go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from West Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. So here's what you have to do. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Ready to deck the holidays? Win a brand new free deck, courtesy of one of the most trusted exterior companies in the Pacific Northwest, State Roofing and Exteriors. Don't miss out. Enter now at mynorthwest.com/win. That's mynorthwest.com/win.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm not gonna sit in that chair anymore.
Okay, well, if you do, just let me know. So
I don't think you need to do my chair.
Okay.
Now,
What that's supposed to mean.
how do you get out of a chair, Grace?
What is that? Again, another shout out to Tom Bowman. Casa, we had a fundraiser on Friday, and Bowman sat right in the front row. First, he came up to me beforehand. He said, 5476.
Oh,
He's
nice.
listening, right? And then she just ended up spending a ton of money. It was great to have him there. And he says he listens all the time. 40 years in working for a government job. And I said, 40 years? You think you're going to be doing it for 40 years? No, but once I got in there, I liked it. You know, I'm pretty good driving around, fixing stuff. And he told me his retirement day is June 30th. Also my birthday.
Oh.
Big day for both Tom and myself.
Yes, that's right.
Big day. I'm going on the 13th of December, that's coming up this Saturday, to this Sphere, not the Sphere, just Sphere.
Yes.
To see the Zach Brown Band, and it is being described as satanic.
Welcome to 2025, where now country concerts are demonic. This is the
demonic
Zach Brown Band. I've never heard of them, but they recently just played at.
Okay, you never heard of them? You don't know anything about them, but like here I am now. I'm going to give you 1 minute of my expertise.
The Sphere. Now, I don't know if this is some type of initiation to go mainstream or even to play at the Sphere, but people said they literally felt like they were getting dragged through the gates of hell. This concert starts off with a little boy inside of a red door in his bed. I'm not sure who this is supposed to resemble. Maybe the lead singer or something.
Lead singer. Yeah. People are literally being dragged through the gates of hell. Literally being dragged through the gates of hell they were.
After this, they take you through a jungle or woods with portals everywhere. And then after that, you see the boy in front of the red door, but now it's on fire. And this literally looks like the door to hell because after this, it starts to get really dark.
Yeah, literally.
You see this really big skeleton and there's flames around him in this big kingdom. And he's wearing this crown. And then eventually you're going to see that the lead singer is wearing that same crown.
The lead singer, by the way, his name's Zach Brown.
And then things start getting a little crazy. Just notice at the very end, you start to see the fallen angel. I'm not sure if this is supposed to represent Lucifer himself, but there's a lot of symbolism here, and you can watch it back and see what you can pick out. But I've never seen
that's my moronic review of the show, having never seen it and don't even know the name of the singer.
It is literally.
It's like Halloween-esque imagery. It's fun.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I had a bunch of friends that went to it, and they said, "Oh, it's crazy cool." And did Zach play a lot of his songs? She goes, one person sitting next to me wanted to hear more of like his stuff that you know. Yeah. But I'm deep into Zach Brown, so I know of all the songs. So unfortunately, the person standing next to me, you're going to hear me singing along.
It is a wild venue, though.
Is it really good?
Oh, it is incredible. It's just, there's nothing like it.
I had friends that went to see Wizard of Oz, and they said, we're pretty sure, about 99.9% sure that we were the only ones there, not high, while watching the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
That's probably why a few people thought they were in hell.
Maybe that
took a little too much.
Don't do that. All right, let's check traffic with Ted Biener. Teddy!
Alrighty, on southbound I-5, just south of Jane Street, got some good news there. That stalled semi that was blocking the center lane, it is gone, but it has left a backup to near Northgate. And at Northgate Way, we've got a new crash blocking the right lane. Heading south, southbound I-5 is sluggish from interurban to Midway, from State Route 18 all the way to near 512, and again through JBLM. Southbound 405 struggles from before 520 to the Renton curves. Southbound 167 slows at times from 405 to past Northwest 15th, and from Pacific into Puyallup. Heading north, northbound I-5 is sluggish from Albro to Northgate, slows as you go through Linwood, and drags from just north of the Boeing Freeway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from 520 to Canyon Park. Drive times, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, they have grown to around 50 minutes. Bellevue to Renton is 30 minutes. Renton to Puyallup has eased to an hour. Seattle to Tacoma is an hour 10 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that is an hour. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
I know what it's like. You watch your hair begin to thin, the crown disappears, and that hair loss starts to rob you of your identity. That is how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair's got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. Because if you're losing your hair and you know it, clap your hands. No, don't clap your hands because you're not happy about it, because it's starting to thin and you know it's not coming back. So do what I did. I think it was about 13 years ago. You all call up. You set up a free consultation. They're going to give you $250 off, 250 free hair grafts. Just give them a call at 425-449-8185. The good people there at Advanced Hair will help you every step of the way, because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. A call to them and you get your hair back. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Hey, it's John Curley. If you're having joint pain, this will interest you. Wednesday, December 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen really good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar, Wednesday, December 17th. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump announces a long-awaited $12 billion farm aid package. CBS's Stacey Lynn. The Trump administration is taking $12 billion in tariff revenue and giving it to farmers.
This relief will provide much-needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops.
He said this will help lower food prices for families.
Maximizing domestic farm production is a big part of how we will make America affordable again.
Calling farmers.
They're great people. They're the backbone of our country.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington. At the Supreme Court.
We will hear argument this morning in case 25332, Trump versus Slaughter.
And whether President Trump has the authority to fire Federal Trade Commission member Rebecca Slaughter, even with a law intended to insulate the FTC from political pressure. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
Chief Justice Roberts says that the Federal Trade Commission that was shielded 90 years ago by this case, Humphrey's executor, looked very different than the one we see today, that now it has much more executive power.
The Supreme Court seems open to allowing the president to fire some officials without cause. A federal judge strikes down President Trump's executive order blocking all leasing of wind farms on federal lands and waters, saying it was arbitrary and capricious and violates U.S. law. 12 former FBI agents fired after kneeling during a 2020 racial justice protest in Washington are suing to get their jobs back. CBS's Scott McFarlane has details.
A dozen former FBI agents have filed this suit saying they were the victims of unlawful retaliation, fired because of what they did 5 years ago when they kneeled as a de-escalation tool, they say, during unrest in Washington, D.C. after the murder of George Floyd. They say this is a political retribution by the FBI Director Kash Patel, and they want their jobs back.
Florida becomes the second state to designate as official terrorist threats two Muslim organizations, the Muslim Brotherhood and the Council on American Islamic Relations. CBS's Peter King in Orlando.
Republican Governor Ron DeSantis' executive order directs the state's law enforcement agencies to, quote, undertake all lawful measures to prevent unlawful activities by the groups. It's not known exactly what prompted DeSantis' order. Back in July, the Army alerted some retired senior military officials living here that they could be targets. Nothing ever came of that.
Former Democratic Congressman Colin Allred from Texas is dropping out of the race for Senate and is instead running for a newly drawn House seat. He tells CBS's Major Garrett.
I had to make sure that I did what I thought was best for our state and for the party heading into November.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Well, some of the heaviest rainfall in years is on the way. We get to that after Ted Biener at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. An earlier stalled semi on southbound I-5 just south of James Street is gone, but it left a long backup to near Northgate. The crash on southbound I-5 near Northgate Way looks to have cleared to the right shoulder. Now, if you're heading northbound I-5, it is a slow drive from Albro all the way to Northgate. Hesitates as you go through Shoreline to about 164th in Linwood, and has brake lights from just north of the Boeing Freeway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 is now a struggle from 520 to past 522. Heading south, southbound I-5 is rolling slow from Interurban to Midway, from State Route 18 all the way to near 512 and again through JBLM. Southbound 405 is a chore from before 520 to the Renton curves. Southbound 167 slows at times from 405 to past Northwest 15th and from Pacific into Puyallup. Westbound State Route 16 also has slowing from the Narrows Bridge to near Rosedale, and westbound I-90 slows across Mercer Island. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton is 37 minutes, Renton to Puyallup, that is an hour. Seattle to Federal Way is improved to 40 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia, that is an hour. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are close to 50 minutes. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. It is a storm that nearly spans the entire Pacific, and it is streaming into the Northwest. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with more on a major atmospheric river.
Heavy rain Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6 inches around Seattle and up north, 10 to 15 inches in the South Cascades. Meteorologist Scott Sistek says there could also be strong winds Monday.
So we're looking at picking up some gusty winds of about 40 to 45 miles an hour, maybe some gusts to 50 miles an hour here and there.
Puget Sound Energy expects power outages. The worst hit areas between Portland and Chehalis, the Snoqualmie River, could also see extreme flooding. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Emergency managers wanting you to get ready now for potential flooding, especially if you live near rivers or creeks. Sherry Badger with King County Emergency Management says they're also worried about landslides.
Biggest areas that we are concerned about are the burn scars. So the burn scars, particularly up at the Bolt Creek area, those are more prone to debris flows and mudslides.
If you are in a flood-prone area, the county is providing sandbags at more than a dozen locations. A man is now charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of a 14-year-old in Tacoma. Police say 42-year-old Nicholas Prather was arguing with teenagers in a car last Friday when a passenger tried to pepper spray him. That's when Prather allegedly fired at the teenage victim, who witnesses say was driving erratically. That boy later died at the hospital. Prather's bail set at $1 million. Well, they have been a source of controversy among privacy advocates, but Kent police say flock safety cameras did help officers nab a suspect in a stolen car just last week. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reports.
An officer got an alert about the stolen gray Lexus and found it behind a business along 72nd Avenue South. The 42-year-old Nevada man behind the wheel was arrested with stolen credit cards, and police say he also had fentanyl on him. Police say he knew the person he'd stolen the car and credit cards from. Well, he was taken to jail, and the car and cards were taken back to their owner. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain at times tonight, heavy also at times. Tomorrow looks to be somewhat dry off and on, but then heavier rain does arrive late tomorrow night into Wednesday. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Sue Bell in Palm Beach, and I just want to show you one of my favorite knit dresses. It's just so easy and it packs. I actually bought
You're on
this
the phone.
for a Mediterranean cruise,
Okay.
and it was just wonderful.
It's nice to have Sue back.
Yeah.
A little gassy at first, but she made it through with that knit dress. Diving into the news. All right, hit it, Andrew. I gotta get that. Didn't know there was a Godzilla song. Cliff Mass refers to it as a Godzilla.
Godzilla atmospheric river. He coined the phrase.
And then I also read Jason Rance has got him interviewed here. Cliff Mass, meteorologist, he's seriously concerned about this. Ted Biener is a meteorologist yourself. A 7,000-mile-long atmospheric river hitting Seattle. So this is because we could be getting, how many inches of rain altogether by the time this thing gets through? We could run into some serious flooding problems again.
You know, it's straight westerly flow, which means all that moisture is going up into the Cascades and the Olympics. Think of it as a sponge, and as that rising air goes into the Cascades, it just squeezes that rain out. You notice we're not raining very hard right here in the immediate Seattle area at this point. And that's because we're on the lee side of the Olympics. The Olympics are giving us that rain shower at this point. But up in the mountains, that's where the rain is. Plus, those snow levels are very high. They're going to be up close to 7,000 feet tonight. They'll drop a little bit for tomorrow, but they'll be back up again for Tuesday night into Wednesday. So basically, with so little snow up there already, that rain is just going to run off into the rivers and streams.
Which is both good news and bad news. We'd like to have it, but not so much of it at this time because we were looking at some serious deficits going in, and you need all of that. You need rain because we didn't get as much snow as we thought we'd get last year. Remember, it was 2014, the Oso landslide, and I think it was it's 18 to 22 inches of rain that had fallen, and then that landslide that hit later on. Ted, are we looking, so you're saying most of the rain will not be hitting sort of the Seattle area and the other areas. It's going to be mostly in the mountains?
Yeah, just think of us, if you look on the radar right now, we've got what I call a donut hole.
Okay.
I mean, there's just very little rain in the lee of the Olympics. Going to the north and south, that's where your heavier rainfall is going to be, particularly from about Tacoma south down into Portland. That's where you're going to see the heaviest rain. In fact, the South Cascades may have as much as 15 to 18 inches of rain by the time we wrap this up later on Wednesday.
Okay. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you what the deficit was prior to this rain falling because I know we were in a deficit and we need all that for hydroelectric power. Plus, we also need it for our farmers in Yakima. So you don't know what the deficit was, but hopefully we make it up. And then we had also heard we're in a La Nina.
That's correct.
La Nina.
Yep.
So that means it's going to be colder and wetter, which is good news for anybody that wants to be involved in any sort of snow activities.
And I think that's probably going to kick in as we get close to the first of the year. That's when we'll see that cooler and wetter pattern. It's not unusual for it to take a while to get La Nina rolling. By the way, SeaTac Airport, before we got into this, was over 8 inches of rain below average for the entire year. And so, and here's another thing. We haven't talked about landslides.
Yeah.
So as you get deeper into the soils, and I've talked to gardeners, it's really dry as you go, 6, 12 inches below the surface. But if you get on a steep slope and with all this sudden rain at this point, that's going to moisten up that upper layer of the soil. that destabilizes it, and then we may have some landslides by the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday.
Right, it makes sense. You think about it. So the lower level is hard compacted. The stuff at the top gets completely saturated, and just basically you slide off anything that's absorbed any of that moisture, and that ends up catching more and more as it moves, as it descends.
It's very similar to avalanche conditions that we can get up in the Cascades, for instance.
How long is it lasting for?
Oh, fortunately, we're going to run out of this subtropical moisture as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. After that, it's just plain old rain.
Yeah.
But by that time, we're already saturated. It's going to take a while for our rivers to recede.
Yeah.
We call the Chehalis River the Mississippi of the Pacific Northwest outside of the Columbia River. And it's the one that's probably going to be the last one to get back within its banks by the time we get to this weekend.
Okay. Well, good. Well, thanks. So we'll continue to keep everybody updated, and if there's any conditions that involving roads being flooded out, we shall watch all that for everybody. Thanks, Ted. Appreciate that. Here comes your Godzilla song. Did you know this one?
Yeah, I wish they were here.
I guess I complain when you guys don't know who Mason Kreskin is, and then I don't know. This is the age gap, but that's what makes the show so much fun to do.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
How about that?
All right, how about that? All right, by the way, Seattle ranks 10th worst for traffic in the country. We rank 47th for road condition. That's gigantic potholes that we hit.
That's bad, right?
That's bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Number one would be like really great roads. 47 down near the bottom. But we pay the most. We got the most expensive gas, so we spend a lot of money to really not repair our roads. Thank you, State of Washington. Appreciate that.
That all goes to the ferries.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. Thank you for that. The CCA, right? The Climate Commitment Act, those of you that voted for it, enjoy spending all of that money knowing that a large portion of it is going to hybrid ferries and electrify the ferries, right? So that's
almost 50% of it. Apparently.
Okay, Joe, will you stop? Just because you read the thing, I read it too. But come on.
Right,
we're gonna have Todd Myers on because he's in Hawaii right now, flying back today, and he studied all of it. And he said some of the data that they're showing us just doesn't make any sense. I started to read it. I'm like, okay, I'll let Todd explain all that. And then worst drivers. I tried to do some research for you on this one, folks.
Okay, good.
We're fifth worst drivers, and that means
bad, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yes. We're fifth. That means there's 4 others states that are worse, Joe.
Oh.
That means it's worse than that.
So we're not the worst.
Not yet. But they look at speeding, DUI, and then also involving marijuana. And then they look at erratic driving, lane changing, all of that adding up to...
And accidents.
And accidents, all leading up to accidents, and then tickets for speeding and things like that. So I looked to see where we were. This is done by Lending Tree. Lending Tree, thanks, Joe. Where we were in 2023, we weren't as bad. We're getting worse. I think we were like not even in the top 10 before, but now apparently, come on, everybody, continue to change lanes erratically. Or... hey, everybody in the far left-hand lane going 60 miles an hour. Oh. You know, if you're that person right now, here's what has to happen. I know either you're the, professor, I'll show everybody how to drive, that guy, where you're driving at 65 to show everybody I'm driving the proper speed limit. Here's what you're doing. You're causing the person behind you. Just let him go. Because now what he has to do, he has to go around you. Now he's going to pass you, right? That's bad. He's going to try to pass you on the right and then go around you. But as he's passing on the right, there might be another car coming over. And you, Professor, I'll show you how to drive, doesn't even realize that there's probably an accident that occurs right behind you, but you don't even bother looking back because you're just in the left-hand lane. Get out of the lane. If somebody wants to go faster than you, just let him go. Move over and let him go. Let him drive however he wants to drive. But don't slow him down because you're trying to show him something. I've seen those people. Because I go by him and they give you that like, walk like this. Just let him go, right? Or if you happen to be in the left-hand lane and you happen to notice a whole bunch of cars behind you, move over. You're not supposed to drive in the lane anyway. No. It's changing. It's a passing lane. Let him go. Exactly. God, it's nutty.
It's wild how we could be the 5th worst But Washington drivers are the slowest I've ever encountered in my entire life.
Some of them are. I was trying to do some deep chat GPT research to find out, are these people coming in from other countries? Are they coming in from other states? Because that's the problem. We have like somebody in Utah where I think the speed limit is like 110 miles an hour or something.
Yeah.
Everybody's all jacked up on caffeinated, but only ice caffeinated. Which is weird, right? So a Mormon can drink Coke because it's iced, but can't drink coffee because it's warm caffeine.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Anyway, that aside, if you have people from other states coming in, like New Jersey and Utah, where they drive crazy fast, and then they come to Washington and they don't understand why he's driving so slowly. Oh, there's also more drinking and driving possibly. And number one, the place where they get the most amount of number one worst. Ask me where the worst one is, Joe.
Where's the worst one, John?
It's North Dakota, Joe.
Oh.
So then I thought, why is North Dakota so high on the list? The reason being is because they drive the most amount of miles. They drive almost 19,000 miles. We drive on average 9,000. So because I remember going to visit a friend and I said, hey, I got to get a cup of coffee. And she goes, oh, we don't have any coffee. My husband doesn't drink coffee. But you can go to Bill's coffee place. It's right down the street. This is in North Dakota. I was like, oh, okay. So I thought, it's right down the street. Right down the street in North Dakota is 50 miles away. And I'm driving, and I call her, I go, hey, have I missed it? She goes, no, where are you now? I said, I'm like 30 miles. Oh, keep going. Well, the thing is, it's 50 miles away. She goes, oh, but we drive like 90 miles an hour. So that's not so bad to get there. But then you got to turn around and come in another 100 miles to get a cup of coffee. And we're getting the coffee. I'm like, oh, I got to drive all the way back now. But everybody drives so fast. So they drive longer distances, so they have more chances to be in accidents. They might have more DUI. North Dakota, number one as worst drivers. But it's nice to know that we're number 5 and moving up with a bullet, unfortunately, because we have, and I can't figure out why. I couldn't figure it. Like, is it one particular group? Is it another particular group? Why is it getting worse? We knew it was getting worse when they passed the law where police were not allowed to pull anybody over. The number of fatal accidents skyrocketed in the state of Washington because people were like, oh, there's a cop behind me with the lights on, but the legislators in Olympia said that cop is not allowed to pull me over, so I'm just going to keep on driving. So you had a lot of people driving crazy because they knew that there was no law to stop them. And then eventually they realized, oh, maybe we should probably not have that law. So they got rid of it. The cops are out there again, but still people are driving recklessly to get us up to number 5.
Have you ever noticed the ridiculous amount of student driver stickers on cars?
Do you know why? I heard Gene Isler talking about this.
I've seen it discussed on Reddit. I thought I was crazy, but other people noticed it as well.
You know what they're saying? They're saying they're not really student drivers. They're putting that on there so people will be more respectful of them.
Yeah, the best theory I heard is that most of those people are coming from a different country, and so they're just acclimating to the driving style of the United States, and for some reason they think that's going to help them, or at least help them.
Are you more sympathetic when you see that on the side of on the back?
No, because I know it's a lie.
So when they've got the baby on board sign, you're like, oh, screw the baby. There's no baby on board.
That one, I'll still give them the benefit of the doubt on that one. But the student driver one, no more. But I think at least 1 out of every 5 cars has that on their car.
So what do? Get right behind him and like you maybe
you stare at him.
You pit stop him.
Yeah,
you hit the back bumper. Just get him to spin out of the road.
Exactly.
Here, take that to school,
liar.
Put that in your book. The baby on board sign started because what they wanted to do, if the car was ever in an accident, God forbid, and were to turn over or something, they wanted to tell the rescuers that there was a baby or there is a baby on board, so be aware of that.
Find him first.
That's what, find the baby. It wasn't like, oh, I've got a baby on board, so please don't tailgate me.
Right.
But people were like, oh, this is a baby. No pit maneuver for you. But yeah, seeing more of the student driver, I am sympathetic because I remember when I was learning how to drive, and my dad was in the car banging on the roof of the car every time I would make a mistake, which doesn't help you. It only makes things worse. And then I'm banging, and then the little dome light, the little plastic dome, that fell off first, and then he kept banging anyway. Right lane. And then bang, he banged on the thing. Then the whole thing came down, and the wires are hanging there, and that thing's rotating above my head. It's like, Dad, you're not helping. You're not helping. No, the right way.
This is, you know what? When we go down into the video lounge, like on a whim to shoot something, and there's
where they have that great demonic lighting.
Yes, and there's people who are just learning how to operate everything down there.
Yeah,
and,
really
and you
sympathetic for those people.
Yeah, and that's what you do. It's like, hey, fix the color.
Right, because you know what? Come on, get somebody who knows how to press the buttons.
These are student drivers. They're learning.
Okay, I didn't realize that we're in like a class here. I thought these are people of every professionals.
So some of them are still learning. So.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be as sympathetic as you are when you see the student driver thing. We don't have time to get into Brandy Cruz now, having her life threatened by this woman, Deborah Yepsy or something like that.
We can do it next if you want, or save it for tomorrow.
Let's see. We'll let the audience just hang on that. They don't know what's coming next. So again, if you're out there driving, you play this game. My dad invented this game, and then my mom that is such a chauvinistic game, but it's kind of fun. Every time the guy is driving and the woman is sitting in the passenger seat, that's $1. You get $1. Okay. If the woman is driving and the guy's in the passenger seat, then you get $5. Okay. So we'd be driving along. You want to play the game? I said, yeah, let's play. Okay. So we drive along and I go, I'm up $10. And we'd pass somebody and you'd see the guy in the passenger seat. And then my dad would get $5. Now you get $20 if the woman is driving, the guy's in the passenger seat, and the guy is asleep. $20. Now, is that a chauvinistic game?
I'm still not clear on how it works exactly.
You're driving along and you look to the car to the right of you, and it's a guy driving and a woman's in the passenger seat. You get $1.
Okay.
Now, if I'm playing against you and we keep driving, and all of a sudden I see a woman driving and the guy's in the passenger seat, I get $5. So you might already have 5 $1 bills because you've seen 5 guys driving with a woman in the passenger seat. Got it?
So is it first to notice them gets paid?
Yeah. No, you'll notice them as you're going along, and then all of a sudden we pull up on somebody, and I look over, and it's a woman driving, and the guy's asleep. I get $20.
I do not get it.
Gee whiz. You get that, right?
Yeah, I think I understand it.
Yeah, is that chauvinist?
It's kind of a fun game. It's kind of like the punch bug game or whatever. When you punch someone, you see a beetle.
Okay.
It's stuff to pass time in a car.
All right, good. See that?
Slug bug game.
All right, see how the driver. Now we're going to check with Ted to see how the drivers are doing. Ted?
All right, let's take a look. This traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. On northbound I-5 north of the Boeing Freeway near Lowell Road, we got a new crash that's blocking the right lane there. An earlier stalled semi on southbound I-5 just south of James Street. It is long gone, but it left a long backup to near Northgate. Otherwise, wet pavement and road spray, they're offering challenges for your commute. Heading south, southbound I-5 slows from interurban to Midway, from State Route 18 all the way to near 512, and again through JBLM. Southbound 405 is a chore from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167 slows at times from 405 to past Northwest 15th and from Pacific into Puyallup. And westbound 512 is sluggish from Puyallup to Canyon. Westbound State Route 16 also has slowing from the Narrows Bridge to near Rosedale, and westbound I-90 slows across Mercer Island. Heading north, northbound I-5 is a slow go from Albro to 85th and rolls slowly from the Boeing Freeway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 is a struggle from 520 to past 522. Some drive times, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett. Both of those have eased to around 40 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton, that is just under 30 minutes now. Renton to Puyallup has eased to about an hour. Seattle to Tacoma, that's an hour and 5 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM is just under 1 hour. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
I have been raving about Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, and about stem cell procedures. And if you've got questions, if you've got some joint pain, and maybe you're even on the list to have surgery, hold on, everybody, because there's a free live webinar happening for you on the 17th of December. Dr. Wagner will be there, and it's going to be happening at 6 o'clock. So make an appointment to sign up for the free live webinar. If you've got lots of questions about stem cell procedures, you've got to tune in for this. I am a believer. I was told I had to get a whole new hip, go under the knife, and then when I saw Dr. Wagner, he took a look at my x-rays and my MRI. It was a 90-minute in-office procedure. It's great. I am back. I ran over the weekend. About 8 weeks ago, I had the stem cell procedure done. He's done more than 20,000 of these, and I'm sure you've got lots and lots of questions. So, again, it is a free live webinar. Dr. Wagner will be there for you at 6 o'clock. You can find out more. You can register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio's Manda Factor.
Growing up in this area, I've heard about Holiday Magic for 37 years. They've been doing this, and I, for the first time, get to be a part of it. I am so excited. Join KIRO News Radio and Treehouse Wednesday, December 10th for the 37th annual Holiday Magic, helping to brighten the holidays for the more than 6,000 youth in foster care this holiday season. You can donate right now. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 or visit mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on, like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
The Pacific Northwest is the perfect backdrop for the holiday season. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law reminds us that the roadways don't always agree.
It's that combination of additional travel, changes in routine, and winter weather that make this the most dangerous time of the year to be behind the wheel.
Any safety tips to help commuters keep the holidays joyful?
The number one cause of accidents remains distracted driving, even during the holidays. So store that cell phone in a place that eliminates temptation. It's imperative we set the example for our teens. Also, be aware of abrupt changes in the weather and prepare for it. Sometimes it's as simple as allowing additional distance for following or stopping. Lastly, make sure your vehicle is properly maintained for winter.
That includes four-wheel drive and chains when required at the pass. Please follow these safety precautions from my good friends at Pendergast Law and keep you and your neighbors safe this holiday season.
Happy holidays from all of us at Pendergast Law.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Well, the wet, chilly weather has certainly arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and if your attic and crawl space are well insulated, your home should be fine. Should feel cozy and warm without your furnace having to work overtime. But you'd be surprised to learn how many homes in Western Washington lack insulation in these spaces. It's why you call Crawl Pros. If you're feeling cold drafts or seeing that heating bill spike, now's a great time to learn if you got anything going on behind that crawl space or attic by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come out to your house just like they did to mine, do the corner-to-corner inspection. In my case, they found the problem, showed me the pictures, and then they got it all fixed. Now, if they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates that are available to help you get the work done correctly. Like if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could get a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost of the insulation job. If you're worried anything is going on in your crawl space or attic, including critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing issues, anything, call Crawl Pros and schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Time is running out to get health coverage through Washington's Health Plan Finder. Open enrollment deadline is 1 week away if you want insurance starting January 1st. Ingrid Ulrey is CEO of the Washington Health Benefit Exchange. She says they are seeing an 18% drop in new customers compared to last year.
Significantly more people are coming into our site and then actively disenrolling because of what they're seeing. They can't afford it.
Those premiums are rising as Affordable Care Act tax credits are set to expire. The U.S. Senate is set to vote this Thursday on extending them. Democrats want a 3-year extension. Republicans want reforms tied to those subsidies, however. Human rights and healthcare advocates are pressing ICE over conditions inside the Northwest ICE Processing Center in Tacoma after they claim a 4-time criminal suffered in their care. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with more.
Advocates claim detainees like 37-year-old Greggy Sorio, a green card holder who was nearly deported back to the Philippines this week, have limited access to basics like soap and face long delays for medical treatment. The Seattle Times reports it wasn't until Sorio was anemic and vomiting blood ICE took him to the hospital. A 4-time convicted criminal, an immigration judge ordered Sorio's deportation in October. His request for a stay was recently denied. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A big atmospheric river stretching some 7,000 miles from the Philippines is about to slam into Washington.
It is serious.
UW meteorologist Cliff Mass tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM he expects to see 8 or 9 inches of rain in some places, in others, more than a foot.
That's heavy stuff.
The Snoqualmie and Cowlitz rivers will likely hit flood stage. In fact, 10 rivers are now projected to reach major flood levels.
In some places, they may even hit all-time record flood levels.
On top of that, wind gusts could reach 40 miles an hour. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
We saw some of those gusts today. Windy weather leading to power outages. At last check, more than 6,500 customers lost electricity, including about 3,000 in Snohomish County right now. It takes us to 5:33, and we have Ted Beener tonight at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
All right, thank you, Aaron. This hour is brought to you by Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. And on northbound I-5 north of the Boeing Freeway near Lowell Road, that crash has moved to the right shoulder. And now on southbound I-5 at 164th in Linwood, we've got a new crash that's blocking the right 2 lanes. An earlier stalled semi on southbound I-5 just south of James Street. It is long gone, but left a long backup to near Northgate. It is wet out there. Take it easy on the roads and maintain enough room behind that car in front of you. That's what issues we've been dealing with here in the last hour or so. Heading north, northbound I-5, it is a slow go from Albro to 85th. It stacks up from 44th in Linwood to 164th and rolls slowly from Broadway in Everett to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 is a slow drive from 520 to Canyon Park. Heading south, southbound I-5 slows from South Center to Midway, from State Route 18 all the way to near 512 and again through JBLM. Southbound 405 is a chore from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167 slows at times from 405 to past Northwest 15th and from Pacific into Puyallup. Westbound 512 is sluggish from Puyallup to Canyon. And westbound State Route 16 also has slowing from the Narrows Bridge to near Rosedale. Westbound I-90 slows across Mercer Island. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton is 34 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, that has improved to 50 minutes. Seattle Federal Way is 40 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, that has dropped to 55 minutes. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are close to 40 minutes. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Ted. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. The rain shifting south overnight tonight. Starting the day tomorrow, relatively dry, then rainy and breezy conditions return late in the night. It'll be very wet Wednesday into Thursday. Right now, 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, gather around the radio set, kids, because it's time to spin the Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe. All the names of all the players are on the wheel. Teeny, if you would be so kind. There it is, spinning around with all the names. This is so exciting for me. I never know where it's going to stop. And it lands on Andrew. Wow, what do you know? Lucky us.
I like Eggs Benedict. That's a good recipe. Oh. I don't remember the ingredients in the sauce, though. I just know you poach the eggs and you put it on some ham and some toast. but the sauce I forget.
Hollandaise
Yes,
sauce.
Hollandaise sauce. You can ask AI about that one. Maybe.
When I went to apply for a job at Tavern on the Green, they asked me to name 10 fine champagnes, which is like, eesh. I didn't do well. And then they said, how do you make a hollandaise sauce? I wish I had Aaron standing by for that answer. A hollandaise sauce.
Phone a friend.
You want to know?
It would help.
I feel like there's a lot of butter involved in that, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You will not also be working at Tavern on the Green.
Is there no butter?
There's butter, but I think...
Yolk? I mean, egg yolk?
Just egg yolk. I remember that.
Lemon?
Lemon juice.
Okay. All right.
Is that it?
Yeah. I think that's something like that. And now name 10 fine champagnes.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of egg yolk, melted butter, and lemon juice.
Boom.
Oh, wow, boom.
Usually
boom,
seasoned with salt.
Okay, this will not be in that's going to be included in Andrew's recipe.
Sometimes cayenne pepper.
Thank you for that, Joe.
Yum!
Okay, Teeny. Okay.
She's drinking.
Happiness is so subjective, right? But this guy decided he would go around and he asked a whole bunch of people if you're happy. Are you happy? The man behind the Are You Happy account on TikTok spent 5 years asking strangers, are you happy?
I'll ask you a quick question for a documentary I'm doing.
Sure.
The question is, are you happy?
This is one of my bucket list items. I had a hip replacement and heart surgery a couple years ago.
Should have seen Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Just saying. Hang on, let me back her up. Hold on.
My bucket list items. I had a hip replacement and heart surgery a couple years ago, and this has been one of my goals. So I am very happy.
And if you had one message to tell the entire world, what would it be?
Well,
Dr.
there's
Mark
a
Wagner,
song by Toby Keith called Don't Let the Old Man In. It goes for the woman, too. You just can't, as you get older, I'm 72, you can't let the old person in.
Thank you. What was your name?
Susan.
Susan?
Yeah.
DeBron, nice to meet you. Oh, yeah,
Nice to
one last
meet you.
question. What would you say to someone that's struggling with happiness?
Boy, I had severe depression at one time, and for me, the only thing that worked were meds. I don't believe in counseling too much.
Perfect. That's good enough. Thank you.
Okay. All right. There you go. I'm about to die, and it's beautiful. Ooh.
You happy?
Oh, honey bunch.
Can you give me one message?
Love life. It's so beautiful. I'm getting ready to die, and my grandfather came out here to tell me about her passing. And the last thing that she said was, "Oh, it's so beautiful here." So you see what I got to look forward to.
Oh, it was great.
And not only that, but I hope that she'll be one of the people that'll meet me. It's such a beautiful thought. It just it brings tears of joy to my life.
There's also the 5 minute rule on the thing, rule of five, which is you ask yourself, if you have a problem, will this matter 5 years from now? And if the answer is no, then you're not supposed to spend any more than 5 minutes on the problem.
I like that.
You like that? Like that way we're supposed to work?
I do like that.
This one person, another one, he asked thousands of people.
Are you happy?
That's a tough question. Some days, yes. I lost my husband 2 years ago to cancer. That's the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, it's okay.
How did you get through that?
Incredible support system. Incredible adult children. He was a very loving, giving human being.
Do you have a message to the world you want to share?
I think it's our choice to try to make happiness despite the external events around us. We have a choice every day of how we live our life. And a lot of things are outside of our control, but our choice of how we approach each moment and day is our own. What we can, because a lot of it we can't.
Yeah. The Stoics say the same sort of thing. The idea that you can't affect it. All you can do is affect how you react to whatever it is that is in front of you, so you can control that part of it. Well, this person said something and made me feel this way. No. You decided to make the choice as to how you wanted to feel. Nobody can make you feel anyway. That choice is always yours. And happiness is a temporary feeling. You train for a race, you come across the finish line, you're happy that you finished the race. It's temporary. It's a little like jolt of you saying, hey, good job, you accomplished that. But it's only temporary. You could never stay in any kind of state of happiness all the time. It would wear out the prostate. So you just kind of just keep going, and then you set up little goals for yourself, achieve those goals, whatever those are, and then you get a little wash of happiness that's over you for a while, and then it's gone, and then the next thing. But I also sort of following Buddha and the idea that, pain will always be with us. There will always be that. And then if you're always seeking something, some feeling or some material thing, you will be entrapped by it. And then the Buddha says you need to blow out the flame of passion and not be always in a state of wanting. Always in wanting, always yearning for something, you'll always be dissatisfied. So that idea of just enjoy the temporary feeling of the happiness and gratitude. I've started doing this because I fill out my little calendar of how many more weeks I have left in my life. So I started something new. Before I put the little black magic marker on the box, I stand there, I try to come up with 10 things I'm grateful for, and then anything I might have learned about myself that week. And then I'm like, yeah, that's good. And then I fill it in there, and I'm like, then I yell out to my wife, 827 weeks left. Treat me right.
I think Buddhist quote I think about all the time, which you kind of alluded to, is that pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. I think about that one constantly.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. It is. Right. And I always remind people that say to me, well, that person made me feel that way. No. That is theirs. You don't have to take that on. Just let that part go. You don't need any of that nonsense.
Nope.
Not
today.
Are you happy?
Yes, I am.
It's a temporary feeling, Joe. And if you're on the roads and you're not happy, well, it's a temporary feeling. Ted's going to help you. Ted?
Alrighty, this traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. On southbound I-5 at 164th and Lynn, we've got a crash that's blocking the right two lanes. We've got the backup now to near 112th. Otherwise, wet pavement, road spray, they're offering challenges for your commute. If you're heading south, southbound I-5 has slowing from South Center to Midway, from State Route 18 all the way to near 512 in Lakewood, and again through JBLM. Southbound 405 is sluggish from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167 slows at times from 405 to past Northwest 15th and from Pacific into Puyallup. And westbound 512 is sluggish from Puyallup to Canyon. Westbound I-90, that is pretty slow as you go across Mercer Island. Heading north, northbound I-5 is rolling slow from Albro to 520, again from the county line to 164th, and then you have some brake lights from Broadway in Everett to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 has scattered slowing from 520 to Canyon Park. Some drive times, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett. Both of those have eased now to around 35 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton, that is 38 minutes. Renton to Puyallup has improved to 45 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma is an hour, and Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that has eased to 50 minutes. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
Not too long ago in the United States, life expectancy was late 50s. But with science and medicine, it's gone up to about 77 years. And you start to notice the aches and pains of getting older. Do you know that Longevity Medical Clinic is proactive, and they know how you're feeling, and they know the latest science that can be done in order to hold off all those aches and pains, all the indicators that you're getting older, because nobody ages gracefully. But if you're proactive and you're working with the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic, because they've been doing this for 25 years, they extend your life and allow you to enjoy more of it simply by you becoming a patient, and then you are working with the top doctors that are using the latest science to make sure that you can avoid the big three, the big ones that take most of us out of this game way too early, like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, plus all the other stuff, the normal aches and pains of aging. You don't have to experience all of that. The first thing you need to do to experience is sign up for the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
There's a reason that no one in the course of human history has ever put a rail structure across a floating structure, because the engineering's been a little questionable. Well, Sound Transit's about to do it, and practice trains will cross Lake Washington in the next week or so. When can you expect to catch a ride across the lake? Find out tomorrow on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
It's a cold winter night and your furnace dies. Don't let this happen to you. If your system's 12 years or older, upgrade now to a Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning system from Home Comfort Alliance and stay warm. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
All right. Okay, do we have any time for Hudson?
Sure.
All right, a little bit of Hudson, please.
I'm a meow.
Yep.
As you can see.
Yep.
I'm a meow. Don't be mess with
Don't
me.
mess with
I'm a
him.
meow. Everything no. I'm a meow. Bring the mail to you.
There we go. Thank you, Hudson. Appreciate that. We'll get the letter of the day first, take care of all the rest. Joseph?
Craig in Puyallup says, I've been out doing the atmospheric river dance all day long, so look out.
Now, Hee-Haw Aaron says, oh, my God, it's just raining. I used to live in Forks. To me, it's just, wait for it, rain.
Amy in Redmond says, my father and his fellow electric engineers did a course to make a color TV.
Okay. Paul in Sammamish says, does John use regular or heavy-duty tinfoil in his hat?
This is based on our history conversation. Ron in Issaquah says, my father, Army Air Corps, was in a hangar at Hickam Field adjacent to Pearl Harbor when the attack started and received his first Purple Heart for his wounds received.
Boarding Roy says, Joan Rivers was a great Johnny Carson guest.
Billy in Ballard says, John, I remember watching his television
Thank
show.
you.
Amazing Kreskin almost always had at least one, if you will, when he conversed with the audience guests.
That's right. He had more appearances than anybody else. That's what he told me to tell everybody.
Was
206, huh?
What was he?
He was like a mental telepathist. Like he
Mentalist.
Mentalist.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
yes. 206, the world would be a better place if we all practiced being Johnny.
Ivan Edmond says, as kids, we had the Kreskin board game, tried to read my sister's mind. I don't think we ever figured out how to play.
I'll have to tell you the story about that guy when he came to town.
Okay.
Oh, that was a weird moment. David, the naked mailbox guy, says, wow, I didn't think it would be that emotional. Great segment.
He was good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Benny the Tugboat Expert says, I remember very well watching Johnny Carson's first show in 1962. They had been promoting it on TV for months.
Yes, Johnny. By coincidence, I saw Johnny on his boat in Ocean Shores Marina. Our one party shouted, hey, we love Johnny. He looked over and smiled and waved. His response was genuine.
He live here?
You know, we used to have a boat here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Savings Bond Agent E7 says, no doubt, no one did it better than Johnny. George Burns could tell incredible stories even at 90-plus years old.
Yeah, and Washington Drivers, Sean from Tacoma says, people take pictures of my sticker all day, every day. Please be patient, student driver. Stupid driver. Okay, see, I missed that. Okay.
Clever. Todd in Puyallup says, John, the reason that the student driver decals are everywhere is because they're on Amazon for cheap now.
Oh, that's what it is. So, Joe, you were right.
But why would you put a bumper sticker on your car?
For patience, for people to show patience.
Is it?
Nope. I see we ran out of time. You and I started arguing.
Okay.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Thank you, Teeny. She's very excited to have chosen this one.
Elena from the 206 says, John, last night I watched The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. It took me a while to listening to Jimmy Stewart without thinking of John Curley. I swear, Jimmy was imitating John Curley, imitating Jimmy. Great Western. Go on.
Mary, it's me. Mary, where are you? You don't understand, George. Every man on that transport died because you weren't there to save him.
I miss Felix.
Yes.
By the
That's
way,
all she...
you clocked in at 4 Johnny Carson impressions. One could have been counted as 2, but I just put it down as 1.
Thank you for that.
So.
That's all she wrote.
That's all
Don't let that happen
Didn't
again.
write no more.
Didn't write no more.
She left the gloom.
Is Doc here? Doc is not here. Doc is here. Doc is not here. Hey-oh. Here's Nate checking. Or I'm sorry, Ted checking traffic.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. On southbound I-5 at 164th and Linwood, a crash that was blocking the right 2 lanes just cleared, but left a backup to near 112th. Heading northbound I-5 is a slow roller from Islesboro to Northgate from 44th to 164th in Linwood, and some pausing from Broadway to 4th Street in Marysville. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing now from 520 to Canyon Park. Heading southbound I-5 remains sluggish from South Center to Midway, from State Route 18 all the way to State Route 16 and again through JBLM and down into the Nisqually Valley. Southbound 405 struggles from 520 to the Renton Curves. Southbound 167 now has slowing from Central to past 15th Northwest. and from Pacific into Sumner, and westbound I-90 slows as you go across Mercer Island. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
All right, you're preparing for winter? Well, it is here, and there's a pretty good chance you're really going to have that furnace going overtime, and if it's 12 years or older, it might conk out on you. So you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, it's really cold, and you go downstairs and that thing is on the fritz. So that is the point where people panic. Who do we call? Who do we want coming into our house? Quick, you go online, you try to read some of the reviews or something, but it's cold, and you think, well, I just call this person, that person, or whatever. Home Comfort Alliance. Put it in your phone. I'm not saying your heater is going to conk out, but if it does, you want to make sure it's Home Comfort Alliance coming into your house to fix it. And anything having to do with plumbing or electrical or heating, it's Home Comfort Alliance. You could write it down on a piece of paper, put it in your refrigerator, have it in your phone, because the comfort people will be there for you. I can tell you now from personal experience, when they came out to Sammamish, I fixed what we had problems there, and then when they came out to the barn, the best. The customer service is outstanding. You're going to love working with them. I don't want anything bad to happen during the winter, but if it does, it's going to be Home Comfort Alliance coming into your house and fixing that problem. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Looking for a gap. He's got one. He's off to the races. Look out. They're not going to touch him. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Make it back-to-back 10-win seasons for the Seahawks, but they're just getting started.
We building a brotherhood. That's what it's about.
It's the Seahawks' quest to win the NFC West.
We got a lot of special dudes on this team.
Placement, and it's blocked.
Yes.
Guess who? It's Eamon Warren. Yeah, guess who?
And it's only on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, where the 12s hear the Hawks.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel-size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the